Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to a brand new episode of Friday Night WrestleCast. I'm your host, Richard Billy Jr., and tonight I'm joined by Mr. Adam Vale. How's it going, Adam?
What's up, man? Another 18 hours of wrestling. That's right. We gonna be here all night long.
I doubt 18 hours, but yeah, this is going to be a bit of a lengthy show. Maybe we'll see. We're also joined by Miss Dana Abercrombie. How's it going, Dana?
Hola, ¿cómo está?
Damn, she bilingual? Shit. You got it going on.
Yeah, so that's good. So now all audiences that speak any type of language will understand everything that we said.
We are universal.
That's right. Absolutely. And we're also joined by Mr. Ricardo Negron. How's it going, Ricky?
I'm good. We're on the road to WrestleMania. Ronda Rousey pointing.
Nice. Something about that point made me uncomfortable, but whatever.
Yeah, absolutely. So let me just give a quick disclaimer. Obviously, we had a few technical difficulties while we're starting a little bit late tonight, but we definitely have a lot to discuss. So stay tuned because there's a lot of discussions that will be had tonight. So we're going to start off the show by, once again, I'm going to give the mic to Dana, and she can recap some of the wild things that happened in wrestling this week. So, Dana, the floor is yours.
The floor is mine. Thank you, everyone. Welcome. Let's start off with the main topic, not the main, but the story that everybody is on their mind right now, and that is Ronda Rousey. If you didn't know, she came out during Royal Rumble, and, she got her point on. So with that, a lot of people are wondering, one, how the heck did all of this happen? Very simple. Triple H said that it was something that was organic and that he has always been a big fan of hers. And that once she retired from the UFC, or basically quit because she can't take a hit, she decided
take it easy. Throwing the low blows.
I mean, she doesn't like feet in her face. She basically needed another option. And since she's not a great actress, why not do wrestling? Because you definitely don't need to be a great actress there. Anywho, so Triple H was really excited about her, and he has worked for about a year or so trying to get her to come on. So she was thinking about it, slowly and slowly. So she decided, you know what? This is going to be the great time to come. I want to do this. And that's basically how it happened. When she came to the ring, to everybody's surprise, what wasn't known was, that jacket that she had that she was wearing? That was actually Roddy Piper's jacket. Her son gave it to her, which was really adorable and really nice. So anyway, now back to what I was originally saying. What happened? Now, the former UFC bantamweight champion, she signed a full contract, and she is expected to have her first match at WrestleMania 34. WWE is considering pairing her with Paul Heyman, which I think is a wonderful idea. She's not really that much of a talker. And Paul Heyman is like king of the mic. Why not? Plus, you have the Brock Lesnar thing going on. So I think that it's a perfect pairing, and that it's really great.
Still there?
Oh. Yep. Sorry.
Okay, Yep.
Anyway, so that's one of the things right there. Cody Rhodes and Kenny Omega and the fate of the Bullet Club has now been announced for the Supercard of Honor, which is basically Ring of Honor. It was going to happen on Saturday, the 7th of February. So if Kenny Omega wins, he wins basically the rights of the Bullet Club. And if Cody Rhodes wins, he still, retains his Bullet Club members. Austin Aries recently pulled a Kurt Angle. Aries came out to TNA with the most generic music ever. He ran down his list of accomplishments like they always do in TNA, but he didn't bash WWE, which is the great part. He says that he wanted to be considered one of the greatest, and as a result, he decided that he was going to wrestle for the championship. And guess what? He won because TNA doesn't make any sense. So Austin Aries not only was a surprise, but it had an impromptu match. He won, and that
but who did he beat? Because didn't Cage beat Bobby Lashley for that belt? And was it Cage that he beat for it?
Well, yeah. Well, basically, it was between Eli.
Oh, Eli had. Oh, I don't know which belt then. I don't know because Bobby Lashley had a belt, right?
Yeah, and then Bobby dropped because remember he's not with TNA anymore.
Yeah, and then that's what it was to Cage. It was Brian Cage from Lucha Underground. So I thought he was the champ. So when I heard this report, I'm like, damn, they took that belt off him quick. But no, it's Eli. I don't know who has belts there anymore. Who knows? Whatever. Nobody watches that shit.
Wasn't there like at one point that Del Rio won it?
He won it, and then he won it quick, and he took it away because of those videos of like him, screaming and doing coke and shit or whatever on that video. Remember that page? Somebody filmed him at the airport, and Impact didn't want the bad publicity, so they just suspended him and they took the belt off him.
Well, how it was described is that Drake pretended to think about putting the title on the line right then and there, but left the ring instead. Chris Adonis took that moment to hit Austin Aries with the championship belt, and suddenly Eli called the referee down to have that match. So Aries kicked out, hit him with a drop kick, and delivered the brainbuster for a surprising win. And, the crowd was like, oh my God, this is so amazing. So that's what happened. So he basically pulled a Kurt Angle. So, yay. Drew McIntyre is returning to the Insane Championship Wrestling for one night only to be inducted into the ICW Hall of Fame on February 12th. So if anyone is a fan of that, you can catch that on the 12th of February. Bobby Lashley signed to WWE. Now, this is interesting, and I may actually feel something towards this. He's expected to be Brock's post-Mania feud. Lashley left Impact Wrestling, or TNA, whatever you want to call it, on January 14th. And so now he's going to be...
That should be the Mania match right there. Shit, I don't want to see no Roman Reigns. We got Bobby, big man Lashley.
Well, remember, they're not going to have anything for Lesnar to do because we all know that he's losing the belt to Roman. So they're going to save the best match for last and for no championship, which will be great. I don't know. WWE logic. Nothing makes sense. Also, WrestleMania 35 will be at MetLife Stadium. So, yay, New Yorkers and New Jerseyans, whatever you call them. So, maybe we can attend WrestleMania 35 together. Paige is finally going to announce her in-ring retirement. There is no date on when she's going to do it, but she has finally accepted that she can no longer wrestle. My heart goes out to her. It's very sad. Remember, she's only 25, and she's same injury as Edge. So it's very unfortunate, but she can have a very long career working with other talent, which I'm sure will still be heartbreaking for her because she really wants to be in that ring. It's all she knows. It's all her family knows. So that's unfortunate. And they just finished wrapping her movie. So that'll be painful to watch too, because she won't be in the ring. Jeremy Borash, am I pronouncing that name right? Probably wrong.
Jeremy Borash.
Borash.
Yeah, Borash.
Okay. Is it Borash or Borash? Okay.
Borash.
Mm-hmm. Borash. He is signed to the WWE. Yay, I guess. Anyway, they signed the veteran Impact Wrestling, Impact Wrestling or TNA. I don't know. There's so many different words.
It's just Impact. He was the Impact announcer. First, he was the Impact just backstage guy, and then he became the full-time announcer. And now it's just going to be that one dude, the little man. And then he won a belt too. Shoot.
Yeah. So TNA doesn't seem to really be doing. Everybody's just basically a wrestler. So anyway, so he signed to WWE. And that the hire was by Triple H, and that he will be working with NXT and at the WWE Performance Center. There is no word yet on when Borash will start with the WWE, but it could be at Thursday's NXT taping from the center stage in Atlanta, which is where Gary is from. So high five there. You can probably watch it. There's been some speculation on Borash being hired for the Matt Hardy storyline, as he played a big part in the broken storyline on TNA. But it does not appear that he was brought on for that. They wanted him for his talent and not what he can do with Matt Hardy. But you never know what can happen down the road. And once Jeff Hardy comes back, we may get a full-blown Broken Hardy vignette thing again, which I hopes will be with the Wyatt and the Wyatt family. They could stop that stupid Bash Brother thing.
Oh, they just need to put that family back together. That was pointless breaking them up. What a waste of time.
Yeah, it was really stupid. So anyway, the thing is that his departure is having a terrible impact on Impact Wrestling, TNA, which happens. He was a major part of TNA. And now what they've decided is that they're going to move Josh Matthews into more of a character role in the storyline as a spiritual advisor of Matt Sydal, which started at the recent TV tapings. Officials then planned for Borash and Don Callis to be new Impact announcement team, but because he left, everything has changed and everything is up in the air. So they really don't know what they're going to do right now. So that was a mess. If you happen to catch the Royal Rumble, you would have noticed that Alicia Fox was not there. She was missing, and so was that weave. What happened was the day before the Royal Rumble, they had a rehearsal, as we all know. They rehearsed everything so nobody dies. Alicia Fox broke her tailbone while practicing her elimination. So there you go, folks. Wrestling is fake and staged.
Well, then I was right, because I told people that one wrestler's going to get hurt getting tossed over the top, and it's always going to be someone that's not used to it, because that's a serious move that you have to train for. You have to put your arm down on the canvas on the side piece there, and you got to just prop yourself and take that bump. And it's all about timing. And if you're not used to doing it, you can get hurt. So
you can, as Alicia Fox experienced with her broken ass. So that's very unfortunate. So this is what happened. So when she was eliminated, when she broke her tailbone, she ended up being replaced by Kairi Sane. So, yep. So as we also during the Royal Rumble, Rey Mysterio returned. Yay! But apparently it was just for one night only. Even though that he got a major pop, and if you watch my Instagram, I'm screaming like a psychotic person. WWE is really, really, really wanting to hire him because they're seeing he still has the draw. People are still excited to see him. But the problem is this: Rey Mysterio is 43 years old right now, and he wants to work part-time because he's old and he wants to have a family and he wants to live to see his family. But WWE wants him full time. So right now they're just in talking negotiations. So it can go either way. But Rey Mysterio has been doing some weird cryptic messages where it seems like he may or may not come back to the WWE. So, yeah. So I don't want
to get hurt.
I don't want him to get hurt either. And he's a very lovely person. I had the opportunity to meet him, which he is downright adorable. He's shorter than me, which was surprising. I'm 5 feet. But besides that, yeah, I'm 5 feet tall, and he is shorter than me. He came up to I would say a solid 4'10". Stop laughing. But he's really, I swear, he's and he's really pretty too. I'm getting really sidetracked. No, he's just he's a really pretty. He's a pretty. You ever seen just a pretty man? He's just pretty, and his family's nice.
I see it every time I look in the mirror.
There you go. That's a good answer. That's a great answer.
There we go.
Yes. Just really pretty, and I don't want anything to happen to him. I want him to have a long life. That's something that WWE wrestlers don't tend to have, a long and happy life. So I'm good with him being part-time. Do the whole Brock Lesnar thing. If Brock can do it, why can't Ray do it? I find it to be just disrespectful. Anyway.
Then I get the impression that you think that Rey Mysterio is pretty. You think you can confirm that?
I have no comment. I plead the fifth. In Shucky Ducky Quack Quack news, just 1 week after making a surprise return at Raw 25, former WWE announcer Jonathan Coachman is returning to the company full time. They announced that he will join the Raw announcement team, and he is going to be side by side with Michael Cole, who I don't understand why he hasn't left yet, and Corey Graves. Booker T, who formerly held the role. Now, many people are like, where's Booker T? They're very angry. This does not feel comfortable with people. But here's the thing. WWE never intended for Booker T to be a permanent member of Raw announcement team. Instead, they wanted him to serve with capacity as backstage. And remember when WWE used to have the pre-show every Monday and SmackDown? So SmackDown and Raw, they used to have that pre-show. And then remember, they used to have a post-show before they got really stupid and started eliminating shows. And then also he's going to be a part of the announcement team during pay-per-views. And maybe there's any type of post-show. So maybe like WrestleMania, there'll be a post-wrap-up show. So he's going to be behind the behind the scenes. I mean, so that's what happened to him. It's not some type of conspiracy thing. People were like, oh, they're being racist. It's not a racist thing. This was something that was always in the plan.
Coachman's black. What are you talking about, race thing? They're replacing one with another. That's not racist. Come on.
The light skin versus the dark skin. You never know how. It's really technical now. There's rules to this.
Oh my Lord.
Yeah. So yeah. So David Otunga, for some reason, is still there. I don't know why. He needs the money. He's getting divorced, and he has to pay that alimony. Okay.
He could just be a lawyer. Remember, he's got that law degree to fall back on. He could just be a lawyer.
Harvard. I mean, I'm not knocking you, and I'm not dream. You're a Harvard lawyer. What the heck are you doing?
He's living the dream. This is what he wants to do.
Live the dream. You have to do, but at least be good at your dream. That's all I ask. On April 10th, we are getting the HBO documentary of Andre the Giant, which if you haven't seen any of the trailers for, you should. It was great. I cried. My mother watched it. She cried. So you have to see that as well. We are getting the return of the You Should Have Died in the Womb match. Nikki Bella eliminating Brie Bella during the Royal Rumble has now set up a match between the two of them at WrestleMania 34. So, yay, that.
Who wants to see that? Damn, what's up with WrestleMania? I don't want to see any of these damn matches.
Well, hold on a sec. I think we already know that's Total Bella's connected.
That is Total Bella's. And remember, they're doing the marriage between John Cena and Nikki.
Oh, yeah, and I hear now that marriage is supposedly having issues. So, that's also another storyline for the show.
Not real. Let's be serious, guys. The show is not real. Although I do enjoy Cena and his rules. It is funny, but this is just ridiculous. But yeah, so that's happening if anyone cares about the Bellas. In Nazi news, an old photo, most likely from her days in Japan, surfaced on the internet of Asuka wearing a Nazi uniform, which I am not even going to attempt to say. It's Vivernemen Mitch. I don't know. It's in German. I can't. I literally cannot. Anyway, the name of the Nazi uniform comes from German armed forces in World War II, and that it's not an exact replica of the uniform. But people are also forgetting that Japan used to be reunited with Germany in World War II, and they have these really weird costume, I don't want to say like just inspirations of Nazis. Like over in Japan, it's not a big thing. Over here, people are very upset. It's reminding everyone of, remember when Seth Rollins dated that girl, which Adam Vale knows the name too.
I forgot the chick. Yeah, but she was like 16 years old. She posted some comments and stuff on Twitter. Somebody dug it up. They threw it back in her face. WWE found out, and poof, she's out.
Yeah, but so like people are concerned that this is going to ruin the chances of Asuka and that WrestleMania thing. And I think that people just honestly dug it up because they were upset about the whole WrestleMania thing of her winning. I thought it was the greatest thing ever. I'm very happy, and I'm also very happy for Nakamura, but we'll get into that later. The Dudley Boys are going to be inducted into the Hall of Fame. So yay, tables. And lastly, we have 2018 is going to be the year of the tournaments in WWE. Shortly after SmackDown completed their United States title tournament, the new 205 Live general manager, Drake Maverick, announced that the new Cruiserweight Championship will be determined in the same manner. Not to be outdone, the brand, which rekindled the company's love affair with brackets, brought back one of their own. At last night's TNA taping in Atlanta, where Gary lives, it was revealed that the Dusty Rhodes Classic will be returning for a third time. The tag tournament debuted in the fall of 2015 and occurred around the same time the following year, but didn't happen in 2007 because of budget reasons, because they gave all their money away to Brock Lesnar. Anyway, we don't have much information on what teams will take part yet, but past winners have done pretty well for themselves, either as tag or single competitors. Remember, we had Finn Balor and Samoa Joe's win, which was the catalyst for their NXT title feud, and the Author of Pains used theirs to propel them towards a lengthy tag championship run. And that is everything with the news of the week regarding WWE, TNA, and the Bellas.
Excellent recap. Very, very entertaining. So I have to give you props for that. And I want to give a shout out to, we actually have somebody watching us from France right now.
Oh,
Yes, so thank you very much.
Thierry
Henry. I forget it.
One more thing, because I'm mentioning this and I don't want to. I personally also owe a very big apology to Mike Adam I can't pronounce.
Adam Lee.
Anybody remember he used to be an announcer for WWE long time ago, and he was the guy who was forgetting everyone's names, kind of forgetting what matches, what was going on, and we as fans kind of laughed and made fun of him. Vince made fun of him. The other announcers made fun of him.
Matt Harvey.
Yes, hit that too. Basically, he has signs. He has CTE. He is a living survivor of CTE. Survivor, I don't know, it's going to be a correct term since, it disintegrates your brain, but he's still alive. But he had CTE. During that time, he was in the full-blown stages of it. So him, struggling and not remembering anything, that is what CTE looks like. So I apologize to that. And, he right now is doing everything that he can to launch a support group for people with that. His CTE is so severe that it showed up in brain scans. So usually they do it after you're dead. They're able to see, the actual tissues and see how bad it is. He had a brain scan and it showed it, and he has the symptoms, and it's very unfortunate. He was on Megyn Kelly today and he talked about it. And if you look at the clip, if you watch the episode, he basically is a shell of himself. You can see him trying to struggle with basic conversation, and you can see him trying to be present, but he loses track of everything so very quickly. So it's very unfortunate. So don't make fun of anybody who flubs up, because you never know what they may be going through.
Very good point. Oh, we do wish him the best, but that's a very, very tough situation. But we'll see what happens. So, once again, thank you for the recap of all the news. I very much enjoyed that. I'm pretty sure everybody will when they listen. For those that haven't heard it, but they listen to it later, they'll enjoy it. So, we need to talk about a lot of the events that happened. We are going to get back to the Ronda Rousey stuff a little bit later, but before we get to any of that, let's start with the show that was easily the biggest highlight of the whole weekend, and that's NXT TakeOver Philadelphia. I wanted to get you guys' thoughts on matches that you enjoyed the most and why. So I'm going to start with you first, Adam, because I know that you was watching, obviously, the Aleister Black match, but I want to get your thoughts on the overall event and which matches you thought were fantastic.
Oh, man, that Aleister Black and Cole match was awesome. He took a kendo shot and mid flip from, it was an inside moonsault shot to the ribs. The timing, it's all about timing. Even if I know it wasn't a big impact shot, but still, it's just something hitting you at that motion. Like they must have practiced that spot. And then with the double chairs, with the pyramid, oh man, that was a straight back. I don't care how strong your back is, it's gonna hurt. That is going to hurt. They went all out with the high spots like that. That was kind of crazy, but that was a match. That, and of course, Almas and Johnny Gargano. Man, that was a match. That was wrestling. You know what I mean? That's like that just brings me back to the whole idea of like, why people like, well, what's so special about NXT? You probably just like it because all the indie guys and all that stuff show up. And yeah, that's part of it, but they actually put on wrestling matches. You know what I mean? It's like they cut out a lot of the chitter chatter and the vignettes and all that other stuff. And it was like, all right, here it is. This is going to be about 20, 30 minutes. And if the match is good, it's great. If they're just laying around like a Roman Reigns match and, Superman punch, then it's boring as hell. Don't need that. But this was all over the place. They were just busting it out. You'll see things that you've never seen before. It was fun to watch. The Authors of Pain, that was another surprise. With Bobby Fish and O'Reilly, that was a great match. I didn't see it going that way, but it did, but it was fun. You know what I mean? So, and even the Baszler match with Amber Moon, that was interesting because she took that weird shot that they're doing now with the broken arm type of thing, but her arm didn't break. And she like continued on and even competed in the Rumble the next day. So I wasn't sure exactly how she's selling that, because Dakota Kai seems to be out for who knows how long with that injury. So I don't know. I don't know what they're going with it, because I mean, if you're gonna sell that move, because it looks devastating, then sell it and don't show up at the Rumble the next night. Don't do that. But it was a great match. I'm glad Shayna didn't win. I mean, she's definitely gonna get the title at some point. But it's good that she didn't get it right away. The first title shot. That's an impact move right there. Old TNA, for those who watched TNA back in the day, somebody new shows up 2 weeks later, boom, got the title. And it was good. Overall, I enjoyed the show, but those are the ones that stood out for me. I enjoyed it, and it just reminded me, I was like, man, WWE can produce great wrestling. It can produce a fun wrestling product. It's unfortunate that the two main shows don't do that, and that everything is just on NXT. And is it all because of Triple H? Is he doing it all? And I think no, I don't think it's all about that. I think he's telling these guys, go out there and work, and these guys know how to work. All of them, even the guys on the main roster, everyone knows how to work. They just don't get the time to do it. And everything is so heavily scripted because of timing, and storytelling. So they don't really get to tell a story. And the story that we all like is in the mat. It's in the ring. It's the wrestling. That's the story. You don't have to do all those backstage interviews and then arguing and talking and do all that. No, tell me in the ring. And that's it. But yeah, it was an awesome show. It always is, if you think about it. And I was telling Dana, we were talking about it on a chat room. We're like, yo, this is stealing the show again. You know what I mean? It's like, this is a show to watch. People could say all they want about Wrestle Kingdom, which is awesome, but we got our own Wrestle Kingdom here in the States, and that's NXT TakeOver. Those are our Wrestle Kingdoms.
I agree. Yeah, absolutely. Okay, I have some thoughts, but Dana, how about you tell us your thoughts next?
Oh, yay. Okay, let's start off with Shayna. Shayna is actually a really big sweetheart, and I've been able to communicate with her a couple of times, and she is just so darn adorable. But I honestly thought she was going to kill Ember Moon. I did. I didn't know if they was going to do like a whole Brock Lesnar situation. So it was like, I'm like, I really like her, but I'm going to be really mad if she does win. But she didn't, as we all know. I think that they pulled that match off so wonderful, where they both ended up looking very powerful. So you had that whole injury with the elbow situation, but she was still able to pin her. And then you had Shayna just basically come later and start choking her out and trying to kill her. So I think that really, made both of them look strong. Ember didn't lose, and Shayna was like, I'm still going to come and beat you anyway. So I thought that was amazing. The whole Aleister Black thing. Oh, I love that so much. I love that match. I love Velveteen Dream. I don't care. It's just that he has such a great personality. He's really charismatic, and his matches are just really good. So I love that one as well. Let's see. The Johnny Gargano one, that was great. Oh my gosh. And the mariachi band, I thought also they deserve a little credit there. That was just beautiful. I love how on NXT they seem to just celebrate everyone's culture. Yeah. So for me, that was just so beautiful. It reminded me of, remember when Shinsuke, I forgot which match Shinsuke was doing, but remember when they all came out with like all the violins?
Yep.
So they really do know how to do performance. They do it where it doesn't overwhelm the wrestling aspect of it. So if you really want to see great wrestling mixed with, a sprinkle of performance and celebration of like people's cultures and background stories, and just honestly really great music also. I also would have to go and say that NXT is just really great in that part. But the whole Johnny Gargano thing, even with the girlfriend stepping in, and then Kat, what was her name? The other wife. I can't remember her name.
Candice LeRae?
Yes, Candice LeRae. When she came and she speared her, I was completely I was right there. I loved it so much. I thought it was just really great. Roderick Strong, he was good as well. It was just very athletic, and I love just seeing people in their element, and they're athletic, and they're being appreciated for their athleticism. So for me, overall, it was just everything. I loved it. But of course, that final match and the one with Oh gosh, we just previously talked about it. I forgot.
With Almas and Gargano.
Yes.
That one.
Yes, Almas and Gargano. Day was just wonderful. And also Nikki Cross. Nikki Cross had a match too with Lacey, I believe. And that too was just really great. It's great to see women wrestling, like actually wrestling on the same level that men can do. So for me, overall, it was just everything. I loved it. But, you know, those two matches for me was like, yes. And also the Shayna one was just, yes. I loved it. I loved how they really just made two women equally strong. And you still wonder what's going to happen. And then you saw Ember the next day. Come on. We'll talk about Royal Rumble later. But I just loved that whole thing. And she kept playing with that elbow. She really, really sold it. So I loved it.
Sounds good. Yes. Okay, Ricky. What were your thoughts on NXT TakeOver Philadelphia?
So I suspected that it was going to be the best show of the weekend. And it didn't disappoint. Even though I haven't really been following the NXT product much on the weekly basis. It seems like you can always count on TakeOver to deliver the goods, and that was definitely the case. Last Saturday, there wasn't a bad match on the whole card. I mean, you can argue that maybe the women's match could have been a little bit more action-packed, but I think they're going to save more of that for later, especially with the way they finished that out. I thought that was well done. Match of the night for me, possibly match of the year, has to be Almas and Gargano. They really, it's just amazing, emotional match. And I'll say that, I'll confess that going into that match, I wasn't really too invested in it going in. For either guy, granted I like Almas, and Gargano's cool and all that, but it wasn't like, oh my god, I can't wait for this match to start. It's gonna be so good. But then it gets underway, and it just they drew me in, and I'm sure they drew many people in. And by the end of the match, like the other thing is like, by the end of the match, I was totally pulling for Gargano to pull it off. He does the underdog so well, probably the best one since Daniel Bryan. He does it so damn well, and had me on the edge of my seat. And even having Candice get involved was a nice touch as well, because that got rid of Zelina Vega out of there, and it's like, oh my god, Gargano might actually do this, and you're kind of waiting for. I mean, I was waiting for Ciampa to show up and kind of screw things up. He never showed up, and until the very, very, very end. Never trust the closing credits. At this point, we have to learn that when you see that, look for Ciampa. But my goodness, I feel like I'm selling the rest of the card short by focusing on this one match, but it was just so great, and I loved TakeOver altogether. Really looking forward to the next one.
It was crazy with that one though, with the Ciampa, because he was still limping. He's still hurt, and people are like, oh, there's gonna be a match. I don't think there's gonna be a match because he was still limping with it. So it wasn't like he just used it and he hit him, and he has a brace on like Steve Austin. I think he still has issues. He still needs to recover from that.
I did notice that when they tried to interview him after the match. They had that footage out on YouTube. So yeah, but I do think that they are still going to have that match with him and Gargano at TakeOver before WrestleMania. But we'll see. Again, I don't really know. Like you said, you make a very good point about him limping, so I don't know how far along he is in the recovery. But we did predict that he would probably show up, and he did show up. But yeah, at the very, very end. So I mean, you all have said what you thought about TakeOver. I pretty much agree with pretty much everything that you guys said. I have to say that once again, the Almas and Gargano match, in my opinion, that is an early contender for match of the year, in my personal opinion.
Yeah.
Obviously, and I mean, again, there's only just February now, so we'll see what other matches can compete with that. But that definitely will be in that discussion when they have the NXT Awards next year for 2018. That match is going to be in that particular discussion. But Almas, you know, the thing about Almas is that I like Almas when he beat Drew McIntyre. I know a lot of people had the perception of, well, I don't really know if this guy is worthy of that title. But I was proven that right in that match right there. I think that proves that this guy definitely can hold his own. So that's
and it shows also that the WWE has faith in him. I mean, they threw him in the Rumble. Out of all people, they threw him. I thought, man, Black is definitely going to be in here. Aleister Black's going to be in here. And no, they threw Almas in there, and then even Adam Cole, which surprised me because this guy was all beat up. And he was in the Rumble. So I'm like, where's Aleister Black in this? But not yet. His time isn't coming because once he comes, I'm telling you, it's going to be the man.
Absolutely. Danny, you had something you were going to say?
I doubt that. Remember, it's WWE.
Damn.
Vince. Okay. Vince McMahon. Yeah, Vince.
Vince, remember Gallows and the other one was supposed to be something big? Finn Balor was supposed to be something big?
Well, they're doing it now. You know, dreams happen.
Really? Nerd? No.
Well, I'm glad you mentioned Finn Balor. I do have something to say when we get to the Raw discussion, but just to, you know, for me to say, I got a few more things I want to say about NXT. Yeah, Velveteen Dream. Again, I really like this guy. The entrance was hilarious. You know, I was very entertained with his entrance. We already knew that he was going to win. We predicted that correctly. So we already knew he was going to win. He has to win. The Aleister Black and Adam Cole match was awesome also. And I did hear recently that Aleister Black is now in line to get a major push for the rest of the year. So my assumption is that he probably will be in the title match next TakeOver. But again, I don't know because they can go in any direction. And then we still don't know when Drew McIntyre is coming back. I know they said around WrestleMania time, but I don't know if that means he'll be back in time to get his rematch because he is owed a rematch for that title. So we'll see about that. But overall, I thought it was a fantastic show. Now, before we move away from NXT, I want to ask this question. I wanted to ask what you guys think about the fact that now we have Ricochet, we have War Machine, we have EC3. All of these guys are in NXT because I know initially we were thinking EC3 might show up in the Royal Rumble, but then you see, oh, this guy is in NXT too. So I wanted to get what you guys' thoughts are to see all these people that are coming to NXT because my personal thought is that now the future is even brighter. But I also think that this means that some people are going to definitely get called up because you want to make sure that you highlight the new people that are coming in, starting. So some other people definitely got to get called up, or I will think after WrestleMania. But Adam, how about you start off and give me your thoughts on this?
Yeah, they're definitely getting called up. You know, this is the recycling program. This is how it works. You bring in a good group, and then you just recycle up. The problem is this should have happened earlier. There's some guys like Authors of Pain should have been called up a long time ago. You know, they're still there for some reason. I mean, even Almas, people could say whatever they want. He's been there a few years now. You know, and this is his first time with the title, so he's stuck around. Not as long as Ty Dillinger, who's been there. What was it? He was there for like 10 years, NXT. So yeah, he was there for life. You know, but who knows? But yeah, I mean, there's a few people that need to get called up. Oh man, what's her name? The one from Sanity. She needs to get called up. You know, they need that crazy girl jumping around, screaming at everybody. You know, and just move things around, the shuffle. You know, now we got that tag team tournament coming up again. It's like, okay, I think we all have an idea who's going to win that. You know, and I'm sure they're going to probably do something with. My question is with these namings because we saw where they mentioned about Ricochet, you know, but we don't know if that's really going to be the name they go with. Same thing with EC3. Don't know if it's going to be. They said, oh, you know him as EC3. Okay, you know, so I don't even. Same thing with War Machine. I have a feeling they're going to rebrand all these people, so we'll see. But yeah, I mean, they need to do that shuffle. You know, and I'm sure that, well, no, I can't say that because the spoilers already went out there. But one of the upcoming shows in NXT, they're going to have to do something, you know, where they just start moving people around. But who knows? they could leave it up for storylines. You know, one of those lose or leaves type thing, like when they did with Elias. Remember, Elias lost his match, and it was a lose or leave match. Was it against Drew? I forgot who, or was it Kevin Owens? He lost to somebody a long time ago, and he was always losing matches in NXT, but it worked out for him. He lost, and he got thrown to Raw, and look at him now, playing guitar badly on TV, and people love it. You know, I don't get that. That whole story, the whole gimmick, I don't get it. You know, some people just like cheesiness and cheesy wrestling. And that's the thing, a bunch of wrestling, hardcore wrestling fans, people into the whole, you know, strong style. Say, look at the product, look how watered down. Look at the fans that are cheering for this. Okay? People like this shit. They like this cheesiness that he does. They like it. They eat it up. You know, so it's like, as much as people want to hate, blame WWE, you know, behind the scenes creative. No, blame the fans. You know,
all right, so let me make a quick comment. I'll take the blame now because I do enjoy Elias.
There you go.
Yeah, I do enjoy Elias. So
yeah, I'm guilty of this as well. I remember for NXT in when I think it was for TakeOver prior to WrestleMania last year in Orlando, and Elias had already been kicked out of NXT, and it was to Cassius Ohno that he had that loser leaves NXT thing. Before I
that
continue.
was a Cassius Ohno.
Yeah, Cassius Ohno, please put some pants on, for the love of God. Put some pants on.
Oh no! Oh
yeah.
no! Oh no! No pants.
Yeah, but anyway, getting back to Elias, I remember that he had a match wearing a lucha mask, and he called himself El Vagabundo, and it was completely over with the crowd there. They loved it, and like when I think he was facing Oney Larkin, and when Oni removed the mask, everyone booed because they didn't want him to unmask the guy. Everyone liked Elias for that, like, because he does a good job of being like a goofball, I guess. But yeah, I mean, it's a little surprising just how over Elias is at this point, because you would think that people would get sick of it. But I'll admit that I've been getting entertained by him, and you know, especially like him hitting Cena with the guitar. I thought that was awesome. But you know, it reminded me of the Honky Tonk Man from back in the day. So yeah. Wait, what were we talking about? Okay.
We're talking about NXT. They're coming up and going down.
Yeah, with the new.
Oh yeah, okay. Rich, I'll let you finish your thoughts on that, and then I'll share mine.
Oh yeah, so I'm just gonna go real quick, and I just was gonna say, yeah, I think the future is definitely bright for NXT. Ricochet, we already knew he was gonna be there. EC3, I was a little surprised because I figured that might be someone you'll see in the Royal Rumble, but you know, I still think it's a good decision to have all these people there because, you know, it will allow others who have already been there for a while to get called up. So I look forward to it. No, obviously with the tag team situation, I think, you know, Authors of Pain, I think will get called up. They should have already been called up, but we'll see. Either them or Sanity is going to get called up.
But Rich is saying it the wrong way. You got to say who should be called down to NXT, because there's some cats on the main roster doing nothing that need to go down and get repackaged.
Oh yeah, who was this?
Damn, it could be anybody that we're watching on 205 right now. You know what I mean? It's like they need to repackage people. They need to do a redesign of some stuff. I mean, look at the Ascension. Send those dudes back. You know, fix them up, do something, and then you can come up. Use NXT not just for one way, use it for two-way traffic. You know, they got to do something, because I feel like when people come up, or there's people that are just on the roster, and you're just like, what happened to you? Look at the whole Breeze Fandango thing. It's like, what is that? It's just a skit. It's just a skit. They don't do anything. We don't expect anything from them. You know, they need to work. They need to do something besides these cheesy skits, which I just fast forward through. I don't even bother with that. That's another thing that supposedly the fans like and want to keep watching. I don't get it. Doesn't do it for me. So
I agree. Yeah, I agree. We'll see. Well, Dana, let me get your thoughts real quick before I go to Ricky. So, are you looking forward to the new people that they've introduced that are going to be in NXT?
Yes, and I think that NXT needs to leave some of the people where they're at, exactly where they're at. And if the only time you're going to go and start moving people is probably during the shakeup. And as Adam said, 50% of the roster on WWE, SmackDown, and Raw needs to go to NXT. Just move all the great wrestlers to Raw and SmackDown and all the crappy ones down to NXT. They need help. They do. I am sick and tired of seeing Lana. Rhino and the I have 6 kids guy is not doing anything, and I think they would benefit from better writing. They need to go back to NXT. I am sick and tired. You see, one thing though, I will say, I like Elias, so boo-hoo you. I like him. I like his corny little songs, and I like him trying to be a Jeff Jarrett Jr. So I like that. But
oh no, continue. I have a question for you after you finish.
No, yeah, I'm really happy about Ricochet. I'm happy about War Machine. I'm happy about EC3. I think they should keep their names as it is because, one, they already have a brand that's built in. So it works. That's like, let's go change Ronda Rousey's name to Sheila, I'ma kill you, McGillicuddy. It just doesn't work. So I like the fact that they
sounds pretty good to me.
But I think they should just keep their names. It works. And TNA lost all rights anyway. And if you remember the whole Dixie Carter thing, she's trying to like squeeze herself in by like, yay, that's my little, what was it, my son?
It was her nephew.
Her nephew, like, yay, look at my nephew. It's so cute and she looks pathetic. So it works all the way around. I love it. Keep them as there is. Let everyone who sucks go to TNA. Everyone who's really great, Raw and SmackDown. Boom. There's your answer right there. And then also with the whole tournament, I'm kind of confused as to what they're going to do. Because if they have this tournament that's coming up and you already have a company with, like, I'm going to just probably guess and say way over 100 wrestlers, and you have even more wrestlers coming in, what's going on? Are they going to create another TV show? Maybe they should. Here's the thing. This solves everything. Everyone that they want to introduce and the people that they want to move off of NXT goes to 205 Live, and you rebrand that entire show. So there you go. That's my answer. I'm sticking to it, and leave us alone because he's great.
I think that's an excellent answer. But let me just ask this quick question. Well, really, all of you can answer that. You know, Dana, you said you want to send some talent to NXT. So, do you also think they need to send Vince McMahon to NXT?
They need to send Vince McMahon. I'm very happy that that FXL, thing, whatever he's trying to do. I'm really, really happy for that because the more time that he spends dealing with his fake football and his weird rules, he has less time dealing with WWE. Let Triple H take the role. Let Shane do whatever he has to do. Bring in more people that actually care about wrestling, care about storylines. This is also the part where I'm really, really sad about Dusty being dead because Dusty, I believe, can save 205 Live. So that's my thing.
Absolutely. Agree. Okay, Ricky. So now the floor is yours. What are your thoughts on the new call-ups for the new people in NXT?
I think all three all three signings are solid additions. I do see all three of them maybe getting the names changed, though. Ricochet, definitely. I don't see them keeping that. War Machine. Like when I think of War Machine, I think there's two things I think of. I think of the MMA guy who went to jail, and then I also think of the Marvel character. So they're probably going to want to change the name of that tag team to something else. EC3, I mean, it's simple, but here's the thing: EC3 was not WWE's creation. That was TNA's creation. When he was on the WWE banner, he was Derek Bateman. Granted, that was a very generic name and all that, and he's coming in with the EC3 moniker, but I don't know if that's gonna remain the same or if get changed to something else. I mean, he might keep it the EC3, but I see the other two absolutely getting their names changed. As far as the ideas of like, sending people down to NXT, I think that's a good idea because it helped out Tyson Kidd. Cesaro got some exposure when he did that. I'm actually surprised that Mike Kanellis wasn't in NXT when he got signed, that he went right to the main roster. He was just lost up there. And especially now with Maria, having a baby and all that. So he would benefit from time down in NXT. I will agree that the outlook of NXT is looking a lot better. It's interesting to see who the call-ups will be. I think Alto Pena, the obvious choice for that. The tag division could use an infusion of young talent. Sanity is also an intriguing one, but I think they got to get the timing right on that because Sanity's got to make a big impact once they get called up. I don't want to see them end up like the Ascension. So yeah, it's see where it goes with that.
Absolutely, very good points. I agree with pretty much everything that you all said. So we'll see what happens. But yeah, NXT TakeOver Philadelphia. If you still haven't seen it and you have the network or not, need to make it a point to see it because it was an excellent event. By far the biggest highlight last weekend. So we're now going to move on to the Royal Rumble. Now, before we actually get into our thoughts on the Rumble matches, I want to ask you all, what did you think of all the other matches that they had prior to the actual Rumbles themselves? So just for some recap, obviously we had the Brock Lesnar, Braun Strowman, and Kane Universal title match. We had the 2 tag matches for the belts. And we did have the Bobby Roode had his open challenge for the United States title and a few matches here or there. But I just wanted to get you guys' thoughts now. Did you enjoy any of these matches or nah, we could have done without most of that stuff? And how about you start us off, Adam?
I didn't enjoy any of that shit. That was a waste. Oh, man. It's just a waste of time. That main event, they knew was going to be horrible. That's why they didn't make it the main event, And they were like, oh, well, some people were like, well, we put the women's Rumble, as the main one because it's new and holding. No. Because everybody knew that triple threat was going to be a squash. All of it. I mean, what was the highlight from that? The stiffness, right? That was the highlight. The stiff knee shot that Braun gave Brock, him talking back, watch what you're doing, and then give him the punch. And they kept replaying that. I was like, okay, whatever, but we already know who's taking the fall here. It's going to be Kane. That's the whole reason why Kane was injected in this match to begin with. They're like, what do we do? People want to see this match. Okay, we can put them, but we can't have him beat Braun again. It's like, what are we going to do? What are we going to do? And then Kane was like, well, I could. You're damn right you will. You got to go in there and be the man. You're going to take this, but we're going to make you look real strong before that happens. And then we're just going to squash you like a bug. You ready? Whatever. I've been here long. Yeah, okay. You're going to be mayor soon. All right, let's do this. And that's it. And they throw him in and, party in the pants. That's what happened. So what can we do? I wasn't expecting anything else from that. I wasn't expecting Braun to win the title. I wasn't expecting, Kane to win the title. So we knew it. So it was a squash. That was it. And I'm trying to remember what other match, because there were a few other matches they squeezed in between. There was, that Seth Rollins and that tag match was BS also. Who wants it? I mean, that crowd was so dead during that match. And I get it. Jordan's hurt, and he's got the injury and he couldn't really do. But you knew that going into this, put somebody else, put a different match. Just, I don't know. It's one of those things, like I see that they have the script and they have everything, all right, this is what we're going to do. This is how we're going to tell the story. But they're not listening to the audience. They're not listening to the wrestlers. They're just going basic. Like, all right, this isn't getting over, but so who cares? Just keep doing it. And then you get those type of matches. which then becomes a filler with some top guys. And it's just over and over again. I mean, how many times can you see those guys meet up? And how many times did the Bar win the title? I don't get it. You got Authors of Pain doing all kinds of matches. Just throw them up there and destroy everybody. I don't know. I don't know what they're waiting for, or even Sanity. I just don't. This guy's. I don't know what they're doing with it, but whatever. It's just the highlight was the Rumble, and it's not so much of what we were of the outcome. It's more like just see who comes in. We got to see the Hurricane. The Hurricane's coming through. And all right, that's cool. And like you said, Rey Mysterio came in, and that's great. I love to hear how everybody freaked out. I've been watching him wrestle past year at Lucha Underground, and he's been doing shows. So it's like, okay, you got to see him and Monta Matanza go at it. That was a good match. But I don't. Besides that, it didn't do much for me. That was it. It's just a Rumble, and that's it. Technically, why do we watch the Rumble to begin with? We watch it for that damn Rumble match. Every other match is just a filler. Unless they put some quality in it. And right now, it's just been a bunch of squashes. So there goes that.
I agree. Okay, Dana. So, what were your thoughts on all the other matches? I know Adam has already mentioned the Rumble match. We'll get into that momentarily. But what were your thoughts on all the other matches? Did you enjoy any of them, or do you think that was a waste of time?
Okay, so first off, I just wanted to say how I love the opening with Paul Heyman. I thought that was a great. So I love that part. I also was like, well, it wasn't that great. Okay, so that whole 6-man tag team match thing with TJP, Jack Gallagher, Drew Gulak, Kalisto, that other dude whose name I can't pronounce, and that other dude whose name I can't pronounce. I thought that they did okay. See, I like when they did the triple moonsault spot off of the turnbuckle, and I thought that was really great. But that was like it. That's all. I stopped paying attention after that. So it was okay. Yeah, it was solid. It was really nice, but it wasn't anything that wowed me. The thing was that I found the matches were kind of forgettable. And I don't know if it was my anticipation for just wanting to watch the Rumble, or like their matches itself was just, it felt like everything was just thrown together. Like, oh, we need something to fill the time. We can't have everybody in the Royal Rumble. So let's just throw these matches together. The Revival, we'll talk to you about this. The Revival ended up defeating Carl Anderson and Luke Gallows, which means that, see, they're not trying to bury them after all. So, that. Mm-hmm. I thought it was pretty decent. That match was all right. Gallows ended up knocking himself out, which was slightly entertaining. So I was supposed to be excited for the match, but it was just really slow and nothing really happened. And so it was kind of like I was a snoozer. I was just bored. I know that we had Bobby Roode versus Mojo Rawley, which was like, I was kind of really sad that happened. I'm like, yay for him. But at the same time, I expected someone from NXT. I thought that's when they was going to call up somebody from NXT. So I really was like looking forward to that. And they didn't have that. So that was just really disappointing. It was just so slow. And it just didn't feel like it needed to belong in the show. Again, it just felt like, oh, we're going to just throw this random person in. And I didn't like it at all. The whole AJ Styles and Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn, that championship match thing, I felt that it was the better of the matches. I really liked it. Was really quick. I like how everybody seemed to work together in the ring. They still played up that whole best friends thing. So I'm still waiting for somebody to turn. I thought that would have been a great moment for them, for somebody to turn and be like, no, I still hate you. I hope you die. But that didn't happen. But overall, I thought that was a pretty decent match. There was like this, no. Then they had the Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn went and confronted Shane McMahon when they're still trying to do that whole storyline, which I wish they would stop doing because it's not going anywhere. Shane can't wrestle. He sucks. I don't understand what the whole purpose of that is trying to be, unless they're trying to bring like Daniel Bryan into it. But Daniel Bryan wasn't even there, which just kind of made it extra sucky. So I thought maybe it would be like some really weird build-up to WrestleMania, and we would get like this weird tag match with Daniel Bryan, but we didn't even get that. It was just unnecessary. We also had the Usos and Chad Gable and Shelton Benjamin, which I actually like these pairing, and I actually like the Usos, and I like the little, like how it ended funky with the whole which twin was which and who got tagged. So I thought that was pretty decent. I like that. That was good. And then we had like the battle royals after that, which I think that was it. I'm not missing anything. Oh yeah, I'm missing the Braun Strowman and the what is his name? Oh dear. Wait, I'm missing the Bar and Seth Rollins. Wait, yeah. But wait, we're doing the tag team championship match with the Bar and Seth Rollins and Jason.
Yeah.
I don't know why they keep him employed. It's just so weird. He's really good. You know, I see him as like the yes man. Like he's like the boot shiner. The guy you always go to. He always brings coffee and he's always, kissing everyone's behind and he's just really happy to be there. I see him as doing that. So yeah, the crowd was dead. Like was legit dead, which was really unfortunate because I like the Bar. And I thought that they would, get some type of a pop, but they didn't. The crowd was just legit dead. So I thought it was okay. Jordan he's a little weird and wobbly. He can't wrestle that well. He tries his best. He needs to go to NXT. He really does. I don't like him. Yeah. Let's see. There was also the Universal Championship between Brock Lesnar and Braun Strowman and Kane. I thought it went too fast. And we all know that Brock was going to win. But honest to God, and this is not even weird to say because we've seen this. I thought they was going to start throwing trucks at each other. That's what I honestly thought. I thought it was going to go backstage and we're going to go into like the garage and cars are going to just be launched and trucks are going to be launched and the ambulance is going to come and they're literally going to try to kill themselves. But they didn't. They hit Kane with an F5 and it was just one F5 and that was it. I think, and it was like a German suplex from somewhere, but it was just so bland and boring and blah. It was just one of those, I have to come in and it felt like one of the, what is that football player who always says, I'm only here for like a paycheck?
Oh, you're thinking of Marshawn Lynch who said, I'm only here so I don't get fined? Yeah.
As him, that's what it felt like with Brock. Like Brock just only shows up. His spirit is not into it. He doesn't care anymore. WWE doesn't care. They're just there so that they can, he fulfills the contract. And so it was just boring. We all know Kane is going to leave to try to be a mayor of somebody's state. And Braun, to me, he's more talented than this. They need to actually give him some type of personality. Like I saw what we're going to talk about later with the whole mixed match tag team thing. So he just needs more personality. But yeah, that was also a letdown. To me, it was only the Royal Rumble matches, which were actually good. And I think that's all of the matches. I think so. Yeah, I'm going to say that. So it was a blah. Overall, out of like a 5, I gave it a 2.
Okay, that sounds good. All right, so Ricky, what are your thoughts on those other matches? And then we'll get into the Royal Rumble, some quick thoughts on Royal Rumble match itself.
Are we referring to the men's Rumble or both the men and women's Rumble?
Oh, well, right now this is just the other matches before the Rumble matches. It's stuff. If you enjoyed any of those matches, or was that just a waste of time?
No, I wasn't really invested in any of them. I was kind of I think I mentioned this in the last podcast that the one that I was maybe the most interested in was seeing who the surprise challenger would be for Bobby Roode's United States Championship. And I speculated that Dolph Ziggler was going to be that guy. It turned out that, when I heard the music, I'm like, wait, who is that? Then I see it's Mojo Rawley, and I'm like, just completely, I was just completely bullshit. I'm like, why? This is a waste of my time. I think there's some upside to Mojo, but right now, like him facing Bobby Roode for the U.S. title, I'm like, nah, not yet. I don't think so. Yeah, when that match started, I tuned out of that. I have paid attention to the other matches because I was just really more interested to see who were going to win the 2 Rumbles. Yeah, I just didn't care about the individual matches. So,
well, I think that's a running theme for all of us. I didn't care about the individual matches either. Just as Adam said at the very beginning of this particular topic, yeah, everybody's watching for the Rumble. And since Adam has already given his thoughts on the Rumble, I don't know if he has anything else to add.
No, that's pretty much.
Well, I'll go first with the men's Rumble. I'll just say this: I'm very, very glad that they decided to have Nakamura win.
I was gonna just add one more thing before you continue with that.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
Sorry. Just to talk about the triple threat for the United States, the Universal title. It's a shame that it was such an obvious result. That everyone saw coming that Kane was going to be there to eat the pin. Disappointed in Brock Lesnar and how he handled himself, hitting Braun Strowman with that punch after that accidental knee. But that's the Brock Lesnar we should come to expect. We saw how he treated Randy Orton. So, yeah, I think it's just, I don't know, man. And I just remembered Royal Rumble from 3 years ago. That was a triple threat that involved Brock Lesnar, but it had Seth Rollins in it. And I believe John Cena was in that too. And that actually ended up being a pretty damn good match, all things considered. Brock retained because Brock always fucking retains at Royal Rumble. But it was still an entertaining match. And compare that to this match of three big horses, three really strong guys. Mm-hmm. Oh, this is what Vince McMahon loves. But we all knew what the result was going to be. It was a colossal waste of time. What was not a waste of time were the two Rumble matches, which now we will get into. Go ahead, Rich.
Well, hold on a second. I want to respond to what you said real quick.
Sure.
Yeah, as you said, the predictability of the Brock match. Well, it is unfortunate, and it is even more unfortunate that now we will be treated to a very predictable Elimination Chamber match in which Roman Reigns will win. Yes, I'm aware he didn't qualify yet. He will this upcoming Monday on Monday Night Raw, and then go on to WrestleMania and in a very predictable fashion beat Brock. So yes, the predictability is it sucks. So I did want to respond to that, but yeah, it's unfortunate because we definitely deserve more. But hey, Brock Lesnar, as Dana already said, he just fit there for the check, so it is what it is. So just to get to the Rumble real quick, I'll say this about the Rumble. Very glad that Nakamura won the match because when I saw them get down to Roman Reigns and Nakamura, now I will say I did not like that once again you had to have Reigns there at the end because then there were people there, and there was part of me that was thinking, would Vince really have Reigns win again? And then have that audience just completely trash the rest of the show for the rest of the night. I really thought to myself, does he really have the balls to do that? And he proved to me that no, we're going to give Nakamura a chance. Now, I will say that I don't necessarily think that Nakamura, they tried to make him look strong with the fact that he eliminated Reigns and he eliminated John Cena. But throughout the whole time he was in there, I mean, he was touch and go. And Finn Balor, who was another guy that people wanted to win or thought that he could win, I mean, he was there from the very beginning, but then of course they had John Cena eliminate him. So, I mean, again, I'm not mad about the decision to have Nakamura win, and I'm glad that they made it very clear after that. Yes, he wants AJ Styles at WrestleMania because that is a match that everybody has been waiting for, and I'm glad that they're going to have it at WrestleMania. I hope that it is the main event of WrestleMania and not Brock versus Reigns. But yeah, I mean, overall. I mean, I liked some of the surprises they had. I know Adam mentioned the Hurricane earlier. Yeah, I was happy to see him. Rey Mysterio was the biggest surprise to me because I didn't know what his status with WWE was. So that was great to see. And of course, Adam Cole was a surprise to me. I did want to say one thing about Adam Cole. I did read a report earlier on that said initially they were going to have him answer Bobby Roode's challenge. But they didn't do that because obviously They didn't want him to lose a big match or coming to the main roster. And then obviously, you know, the whole faction that they started is still in NXT. They aren't there yet, even though that he did cut a promo later saying that, oh yeah, SmackDown and Raw, they will be there too. So at some point they will call them up to the main roster. I don't know when that's going to happen, but I was glad to see Adam Cole in there, and I was glad to see Almas in there. So I would say the men's Rumble was pretty awesome. It exceeded my expectations because I expected it to be totally disappointing, but I have no complaints with the results of it. Now, if Reigns won, that's a totally different story. Then I would say, oh, I wouldn't be happy with that result. But the fact that he didn't win, okay, I'm glad. So that's just my thoughts. Dana, what were your thoughts on the Rumble match itself?
I love how nobody has anything to say about Ty Dillinger and how he was screwed, but okay.
He's never been special, man. Please, none of that.
And Dana, you know, it's perfect. It's perfect you say that because even in storyline, they didn't acknowledge that on SmackDown either. I would have thought that he would have tried to attack Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn, but that didn't happen. So, but go ahead.
They gave him the Benoit treatment, but all right. Since he didn't matter to anybody, I just won't mention him either anymore. All right. So I love the match. One, Rusev Day. Let me just say the way how they played that all throughout the whole match and even before they started the match and even the crowd was into it. I love that. Finn Balor coming out as number 2 and him being in the match really long was great. I love that they included Rhino. People seem to forget that Rhino exists. So yay. They've had Rhino since that whole TNA invasion that the ECW.
He was in NXT. Yeah, it was NXT. The people didn't forget it. We had the belt.
No, people forget Rhino. They do not cheer Rhino like they used to in ECW. And he's
when he comes out now, they still chant for ECW when he comes out.
Recently, maybe because it was Philly, but if he was to go to like, I don't know, Ohio, they don't do that. They need to chant him everywhere. He's amazing. And you know, he's very athletic. He's losing some of his athleticism, but he's still athletic. He's not as thick as he used to be. What happened? I don't know what's going on. Baron Corbin and his missing hairline was in there. I don't know why. I have like such a hatred for him. Heath Slater, I'm happy he was there. He's able to feed his kids. He lasted a little, longer than what I thought. Elias was in there. Extremely happy to see Almas. Bray Wyatt was in there. I would have loved to see some type of showdown between Bray Wyatt and I don't know, someone else. But I thought they could have played it up a little bit. Big E was there with the whole pancakes. I don't understand that. I think it's the stupidest thing ever. Sami Zayn was there, taking the place of Ty Dillinger, which, again, nobody knows where he was at. Sheamus, he was great. The Bar.
They jumped him, remember? He got beat up.
Yeah, but, still acknowledge that, hey, he got beat up. He's not going to be in here. But they just don't. I'm so sick and tired of how they keep treating him. They need to change his whole gimmick.
Yeah,
also,
I never liked it.
That's just stupid. So Xavier Woods was in there. I'll always love him. Apollo Crews needs to be fired. He was there. Shinsuke, as we know, who was the winner, who lasted 44 minutes and 25 seconds. He made my whole day. You will not understand him winning, and then Asuka, which we'll get into. My mind was completely blown. It's not even the fact that, hey, Roman didn't win, but you have someone who is an amazing talent. You're giving us a match that we wanted for such a long time. And can I just say that an Asian won? Yay. So good for them. Remember WWE prior, they did that whole racist skit with him and Jinder Mahal. Yeah. So to have him win the Royal Rumble, to me, it just means a lot. Cesaro was there. Kofi, oh my gosh, can we just talk about how Kofi does that whole thing where he gets eliminated, but he's not really eliminated because his feet never touch the floor? So that whole thing was just, to me, was amazing. I love that. Seth Rollins was in there. Matt Hardy, I actually was really looking forward to Jeff Hardy being in there, but he wasn't. John Cena, boo him. I'm sorry, the Hurricane making it in there, I know it's like a gimmick thing, but to me, it was just so exciting to see Hurricane. And I wish that they would sign him. Maybe get rid of the Hurricane gimmick and put him in NXT. I always loved him. He always made me laugh as a kid, and I always loved his whole thing. So Aiden English was all right. He did that whole singing thing along with the Rusev thing, so it added. Adam Cole, baby. I love that. Randy Orton, we haven't really seen a lot of him because remember he wasn't at Raw 25. So to see him in this was really nice. Titus O'Neil, he needs to be fired as well. He's only there to make Vince happy with the shucking and the jiving. The Miz, Rey Mysterio was the happiest thing I've ever seen ever. I was really excited and thought that he would be back full time. And him just doing that whole 619 thing was just so great. His speed is still great. And then you already know because you've watched him over at Lucha. And a lot of people don't watch Lucha. And I don't even know when the Lucha is coming back. I don't even know who bought it. Is it still on Netflix? I don't know what's going on.
No, it's not. They're staying with El Rey, and they start filming between February and March because all the guys like Jeff Cobb, which is Matanza and stuff, and a few others, they've already canceled all their other bookings because of that. But they told them in beforehand that they were going to get calls, and that's their main job there, their main gig. So
see, it would be nice for Ray to come back, even like if he does a little part-time thing, and then when they fix themselves back up together, Lucha Underground, he can go.
He's not going to Lucha. They can't afford him now. He can't. He said he's not going back.
New Japan?
Nope.
No. Oh no. Damn. Well, he did some. He has
schedule. That's the thing. He likes wrestling and he likes doing all this stuff, and he's trying to get his son into it, and he's training his son. But it's that schedule, man. He just doesn't want to do it, and I get it. He doesn't need to do it. I don't know why. I really thought he was going to come out as a 205 manager, general manager. I was like, this is it. He'll be the new GM. That would have been awesome.
That would have been great. And that whole cruiserweight thing. That would have been great. Roman Reigns can't stand. He could go and like fall into a rock. Goldust was there. He really doesn't do anything for me anymore. Dolph Ziggler, he came back, which was like, okay, but he still looked the same and he didn't do anything. So I don't understand why they even brought him back.
And he lost. He got tossed out. Like, that was you had a belt, sucker. Why are you doing this? Like, that doesn't even make sense. It's like as if they took him off and like, all right, we're gonna repackage, we're gonna read it. Forget it. Just go out there. You're number 20. You know what I mean? It's like they just scrapped all that out the window. But he's getting a big check. We all know he gets paid, and that's it. He's another one I think is just there for the money right now.
Yeah, he makes like $3 million with WWE, and I think that includes also merchandise. So I don't blame him for leaving, but they just need to do something with him. To me, it was all right. Overall, it was okay. I like Nakamura, winning. To me, that like I cried and was like, oh my God, this is the greatest thing ever. We're not racist today. So, yay, I loved it.
Absolutely. All right, Ricky, what were your thoughts on the Rumble?
The men's Rumble, yeah.
Yeah.
I thought it was fun. I think that so I started watching wrestling again like full time, say like 2011. This is the first time since then that I've actually been happy with the outcome of the Rumble. Which it's amazing how long it's been. Very happy with Nakamura winning it. I think he's deserving. If I had thought to read the tea leaves, I would have already figured Nakamura winning it when it came down to him and Roman Reigns. And what I mean by the tea leaves is Elimination Chamber being a Raw pay-per-view. So it's like, yeah, well, that would be the way to get Reigns the number one contendership. I have my own rant about that. Why does the women's champion have to defend her title in the chamber, but the men's champion doesn't have to? That's a load of bullshit. But, that's a discussion for another podcast. Going back to the Rumble, nice surprises. I really liked seeing Cien Almas out there. That was a nice surprise. Adam Cole was cool. I had a feeling that Rey Mysterio might appear. He wasn't as much of a surprise to me as maybe as it was to other people. What surprised me was how great shape he was. He looked fantastic. I thought the pacing of the Rumble was good. It didn't take too long between entrants coming out. I was interested to see if they were going to go all the way with Heath Slater towards the end, like have him just get beat up by every single wrestler as they come in, and just that's how he's like going to stay in the match by not actually entering until like the very end, you know. But no, they let him have his moment by eliminating Sheamus, which was kind of cool. Yeah, it was a very entertaining men's Rumble. Looking at the whole thing altogether, as some of you had said, it would be nice if for once we didn't have Roman Reigns towards the end. I mean, when Nakamura won, I jumped out of my seat. I thought it was awesome. Yeah, you know, very happy for him. Would like to see him and AJ Styles main event WrestleMania, but I think we know what the main event is actually going to be. But hey, we take the victories that we can get. I mean, AJ and Nakamura wrestled at Wrestle Kingdom, and they weren't main event, but they put on a hell of a show there. I think they're going to do the same in New Orleans. But yeah, great Rumble.
Absolutely. Yes. Okay. And now we're going to move on to the discussion about the Women's Rumble. This is, as Dana called, the disrespect of the Women's Rumble. So before we get into the disrespectful portion, Dana, I believe that you wanted to tell us a few quick stats about the elimination process of this particular match.
Sorry. Oh, I am so sorry. I can't talk. Yeah. So that, oh Lord, Black Jesus, this was just okay. So yay, women made history as being, you know, the first ever women's Royal Rumble. As sloppy as it was, it still made history. So yay! Here is the little breakdown from entrance to elimination to time in the ring and more. All right, so we have Sasha Banks was number one. She eliminated Vicky Guerrero, Bailey, and Trish Stratus. That was just disrespectful. Yeah. Sasha Banks was then eliminated by the Bella Twins, which was even more disrespectful. But Sasha lasted 54 minutes and 46 seconds. Becky Lynch was number two. She got eliminated by Lita and Vicky Guerrero. She lasted 30 minutes and 54 seconds. There was Sarah Logan, who was in there, who later was eliminated by good old grandma Molly Holly. She lasted 16 minutes and 30 seconds. Mandy Rose was number four, who was eliminated by Lita. She lasted 3 minutes and 52 seconds. Lita came and she eliminated Tamina, Mandy Rose, Lynch. Tamina, Mandy Rose, and then was eliminated by Becky Lynch. She lasted 5 minutes and 51 seconds. Cara Sane came in. Remember, it's supposed to be Alicia Fox in her weave, but she didn't make it because she broke her ass. She was then eliminated by Brooke. She lasted 4 minutes and 49 seconds. Tamina came in, and I really thought she was going to decimate everyone. But no, once again, they have no respect for Tamina. And she was eliminated by Lita. She lasted 1 minute and 34 seconds. So disrespectful. Dana Brooke came in. She eliminated Cara Sane. She then was eliminated. No, she then was eliminated by Tori Wilson, which again was extra disrespectful. 2 minutes and 59 seconds. Tori Wilson eliminated Brooke, but then was eliminated by DeVille, lasted 3 minutes and 4 seconds. Sonya Deville came in. Wait, am I doing this right? Oh, wait, no. Liv Morgan, I'm sorry, came in and was eliminated by Michelle McCool at 5 minutes and 12 seconds. She lasted in. Grandma Molly Holly came in. She eliminated Logan, was then eliminated by Michelle McCool. She lasted 4 minutes and 4 seconds. Lana, which I do not know why she's in anything. She came in and eliminated DeVille, Morgan, and was then eliminated by Natty, and she lasted 8 minutes and 38 seconds, which was too much. Ruby Riott came in, which she was eliminated by Nia Jax. She lasted 11 minutes and 32 seconds. Vicky Guerrero came in and was eliminated by, I want to say, Ruby Riott. She lasted she was eliminated by Riott, Lynch, and Banks. She lasted 57 seconds total. Carmella was in there. She eliminated Michelle McCool, Phoenix, and was eliminated by Trish Stratus. She lasted 25 minutes and 34 seconds. Kelly was there. She was eliminated by Nia Jax. She lasted 5 minutes and 2 seconds. Naomi was there. She was eliminated by Nia Jax again. Lasted 6 minutes, 49 seconds. Jacqueline and her missing edges was there. She was eliminated by Nia Jax and Trish Stratus. She lasted 1 minute and 52 seconds. Disrespectful. So disrespectful. Anyway, Nia Jax, she was eliminated by Bayley, Asuka, the Bella Twins, and Natalie. She lasted 17 minutes and 56 seconds. Ember Moon, amazing, wonderful. And her broken elbow, which is not broken. But anyway, she was eliminated by Asuka. She lasted 6 minutes and 14 seconds. Beth Phoenix was 24. She was eliminated by Natty. Lasted 2 minutes and 22 seconds. Asuka was basically, we all know the winner of the whole thing. She was never eliminated. She lasted 19 minutes and 41 seconds total. Mickie James came in and was eliminated by, I loved Mickie James, real quick, and Trish Stratus. Because if you remember the old feud where Mickie James was basically obsessed with Trish and was a stalker.
Yeah.
So I love that they played that up. She lasted 8 minutes, 24 seconds. Nikki Bella and her fake boobs was there. She got eliminated by Asuka. She lasted 16 minutes and 30 seconds. Brie Bella and, her non-boobs were there. She was eliminated by Nikki Bella, which again goes to show, remember we said earlier that the Bellas are doing the whole, you should have died in the womb. So that's why she eliminated her sister. 11 minutes, 58 seconds. We have Bayley. She was eliminated by Sasha Banks. She lasted 5 minutes, 4 seconds. Trish Stratus was also eliminated by Sasha Banks. She lasted 5 minutes and 36 seconds. The total match time was 58 minutes and 57 seconds. And throughout it, we had a whole bunch of botches and just everyone looked lost. They didn't know what they was doing. But yay, we made history by being sloppy.
My issue was, what was with all the rolling outside of the ring and hanging out, and what the hell was that? I felt like it was like they took a cue out of the WWE 2K18 game, where you hit the guy a bunch and they roll out for a long period of time. I was like, yo, somebody needs to be pressing that button.
Yeah.
That's what I hated. I didn't know they didn't have the conditioning and the stamina to last like basically a whole hour.
Oh no, they definitely didn't have that.
So my thing was like, oh, they just went under so they can breathe and have a coffee break. So if you look,
by the way,
yeah.
Oh no! I was just gonna say, by the way, yeah, the men have done that. We saw Roman Reigns doing that for the last couple of Rumbles, where they just we just step outside the ring, relax. Oh, fake an injury. Let me go. They bring them back. So yeah, stupid stuff. But go ahead, continue, Dana.
But for me, yeah, that can work with the men's because they've been doing it since, what is this? Royal Rumble 20 or something? I'm not, but like over 20 years. So okay. But for my thing is this is the first ever female Royal Rumble. You have to show. And we all know that women can do the same thing as men. But the way how they showed it was like, what the heck are we trying to do with these women? Everyone just looked so lost and confused. They look like they've never seen a match before. They look like they just thrown in the ring and they were just told to stay in there. No one, even when they was trying to wrestle, everything was just like not any effort. We remember the whole Sasha Banks kicking Lita, but it's not even connecting. That whole situation right there. There were so many botches where it was just embarrassing. Then you had the whole Vicky Guerrero thing. Okay, whatever. We had Hurricane with the men's, but the randomness of Vicky. Also, remember, Victoria was not included. WWE doesn't even like to acknowledge Victoria's existence. I don't know why. They could have at least had something with her. So Victoria wasn't there. And also, all of the veterans eliminated the newbies. A lot of them. So what do you think if you're like this new Divas Revolution thing and you're like, we're just like the past, but we're greater because look how great we can wrestle. And then you have Grandma Molly Holly coming in who looked like a soccer mom who decided to take a self-defense class after a man walked too close to her down the street.
Oh man. But she's a trainer. She trains at Mr. Kennedy's over in Minnesota. She's a female wrestler trainer. So she can still go. I don't know why you hate on her. She's always looked that way. She's always looked that way.
Yeah, but when you have people like that and you have Jacqueline basically kicking everyone's behind, what are you trying to say about your new brand?
Are you saying that Trish is a grandma because she's older than Molly Holly?
No, you know what? And I'm gonna no. I mean, she can be great grandma.
I'm just being fair. Just being fair.
If you don't like Molly Holly, come on now.
Okay, so Trish is 42, and she looks amazing. Her thing, everything about her was just amazing, and she still did that whole wrestling thing. And Mickie James is like 60, and she did a great job as well. So you have these people who are so amazing, and then you have people like Sasha, who was a great wrestler, but seemed so lost in that match. I was confused as to what she was trying to do. Then in the ring, you have women just sitting in the corner having asthma attacks. I don't get it. And this is also from people. Remember, we had the Iron Man match with Bayley and Sasha. So condition-wise, they should be able to do this. And they just didn't. Everything just looked thrown together. I don't know what happened.
I think it was, though. It definitely was. It was definitely worse. It's hard to set up one of these matches. If you ever hear about it with these guys talking, it's very difficult. I mean, we all know that one issue with Mick Foley. Remember Mankind when he took that, someone threw like a popcorn bucket at his head, but he knew his time was coming to get tossed out. It hit him in the head, and he just flew over, thinking that he got hit, and he didn't. And it was like, oh man, it's like it's hard. It's hard, and that's the one concern a lot of people had with this women's match. It's like you got a bunch of spots. Who's going to take the spots? And now we know it was a bunch of older wrestlers that they brought in, and some of them were okay, and some shouldn't have been there.
No, I mean, I just don't understand. And my thing was maybe Vicky was there because Ray was there, and like they called each other one day and was like, let's go on a road trip. So they all went to the Royal Rumble together. And then at the very last minute, Vicky was thrown in. I thought originally Vicky was thrown in because of Alicia Fox, but it was Cara Sane. So I just don't understand the logic behind this. It was just an embarrassment. And to me, it just reminded me of the very first the Money in the Bank match. And you had James Ellsworth technically win. So they have no respect. I don't know. I don't really think that they have much respect for the women's division when it comes to Raw and SmackDown.
So I agree with pretty much a lot of the things you say. I do want to say this though, very quickly. It doesn't really matter how old Molly Holly is. Doesn't really matter how old most of these women are. A lot of them look fantastic in this match. Yeah. And you mentioned you mentioned Mickie James. She looked fantastic. Trish Stratus. Yeah, that was wow. Yeah. That's all I have to say. Tori Wilson
too. Lita's she kept everything up. She looking tight and right.
Yeah. No, you're right. So they look great. But
even Michelle Poole, which I don't know why she was there. She never could wrestle to begin with. Undertaker. Sorry.
Yeah. And that's something I was.
Kelly was there, and she never could freaking wrestle.
No.
Oh yeah, you're right.
Yeah, but no, that's true.
You mentioned Undertaker's wife. I saw she did the most eliminations for the Legends, so I thought that was interesting. I think that was paying homage to Undertaker. A sign of respect. But
Phoenix, she can still wrestle. She looks great. Remember, she just had the baby with Edge.
Oh yeah.
No, she had that baby while she has two babies. Because remember, she was at the the
Hall of Fame last year.
Hall of Fame, yeah, and she wasn't pregnant. She was talking about it. She's all right.
Yeah, I think, but Trish is the one that just had a baby, I think.
Are you kidding me?
Yeah, not too long ago. Because I remember when they got Mickie James to come back. That actually was supposed to be Trish, but she couldn't do it because she was about to have a kid at that time.
Oh my gosh, she looks amazing. And Jacqueline, she's still in shape too.
Oh yeah, but you said she got to do something with her hair.
I mean, she's wearing.
Damn, Dana just really nitpicking. She's like, I don't like your hair. I don't like your eye. Left eyeball looks weird. It makes me uncomfortable. It's wandering.
That doesn't matter because we all know that's just, it's just hair. Like, whatever. It was just really distracting, but she has that whole Sasha Banks thing going on with the hair. But
Absolutely.
yeah, but she was amazing. She looks great, and she is old as beans because she was old when I was a kid watching her.
Who?
Jacqueline.
Oh yeah, Miss Jackie. She's been around.
And she's 54 years old. Oh my God! And she just had a birthday. Young. She just had a birthday January 6th.
Damn, she is the lady.
And she is, and remember, she's the first Black woman to win the belt. I forgot which belt it was, but she's the first Black person to do something in WWE.
And she's from Texas.
Molly Holly, she looked great. Terry Reynolds wasn't there. I wonder why.
Well, she can't wrestle. I mean, she was there for the night before. Remember, she was there for that event or whatever they had, the 25th anniversary. But
Kelly.
Oh, okay.
That's my defense for anything. Kelly. Why was she there?
Well, that's easy. That was just for those that thought she looked attractive. Yeah, let me get a look at her one more time. That was for those people.
Boring looking. I'm so sorry. Upgrade your life. Upgrade your eyes.
Oh, upgrade your life, she said. Put that on a t-shirt. Damn.
She's just boring looking. Like, she looks really great, but she's just, she's plain Jane.
I agree. Well, so, just so we can continue the final part of the disrespect of the Rumble, you might as well mention the closing moments when after Asuka won, and we saw the emergence of Miss Ronda Rousey.
The level of pissness that I had. Okay, so it was mixed, and then I went into full-blown pissness. So you had, like, with the men, who are you gonna wrestle, Shinsuke? And he's like, I'm gonna do AJ Styles, and everybody's like, yay! So I'm like, I'm ready for Asuka, and Asuka can speak good English. She speaks it better than Shinsuke. So I'm like, okay, it's gonna be her, it's gonna be Charlotte, it's gonna go down.
They never have her speak English. She says like one or two words and then goes straight Japanese. What do you
know? 1 or 2 words are better than Nakamura.
No, Nakamura. I don't know.
No, to me, Nakamura is just better. And rested.
The problem with Nakamura is that when he says it, he also has kind of like a lisp to it. So it's hard enough to understand some people who can speak perfect English with a lisp, but then when Nakamura does it, it adds that extra, the accent. I mean, God bless the guy. I cringe whenever he's talking on the mic, and I can understand what he's saying, but you got some idiots in the crowd saying what, and it's like, no, don't do that shit to Nakamura. It's disrespectful. That's
like, I love Nakamura and he's my everything, and I mean it in no disrespect, but for me, Asuka just speaks better English. She just
no. I feel you. I'm talking about more like the fans that are all about like, oh, if you're not American, then you don't mean anything here. That kind of crap.
That thing, yeah. But I was really happy about the crowd that went and said, remember the whole Jinder Mahal thing, and they made fun of how Nakamura speaks, and they was like, this is too much. I was so freaking happy when they did that.
Yeah, big respect to that crowd. Yeah.
Absolutely. And yeah, it was just horrible. But yes, the disrespectfulness of Ronda Rousey. So the whole thing was Asuka just won. She lasted, what was it, like 44 minutes or something 19 minutes and 41 seconds, whatever. She could have lasted a whole 20 hours. She lasted in the ring. She won. Everyone's happy. There's a big celebration. The crowd's going crazy. And right when she's about to, announce who she wants to wrestle, you had Charlotte and you had Alexa Bliss, and they're all waiting. And, you had Maria Menounos, who for some reason just thought like yelling was somehow a great way to announce things. Then you had Ronda Rousey interrupt the whole momentum, interrupt, this historic match and Asuka's shining moment. It was like this big moment. It was like the Oscar speech of everything that she was about to give. And the whole thing just went to Ronda. And she didn't say nothing, but just started pointing and pointing and pointing and then trying to shake people's hands. That was so disrespectful. Like, she could have easily did that on Monday. I don't understand the whole purpose of her even being there. Yeah, it was really nice that she came out to that song. It's nice that she came out to Roddy Piper, you know, the shirt that he had, and that her jacket that she wore was Roddy's jacket. It was given to her by Roddy's son. So that was really great. That was nice. But what the heck were you doing at Royal Rumble, taking away from Asuka's shining moment?
Now,
that
her
was
fault. I mean, she said it. They just told her, hey, this is what you got to do. Go out there. No, it's not her fault. She got signed. And she said, okay, cool. What do I do?
That is Triple H right there, because you got her signed. You went for a whole year trying to get her signed. You knew what you was doing. You was booking everything. So you're going to do that right when Asuka is about to make her speech. And then we still don't know who Asuka's going to face. And the way how it left off, who?
She said it. She's going against Bliss.
Yes, but she had to say that on Monday. You have to wait a whole extra day when it's not even your moment anymore. Why is she going against Bliss? We all know that she should have went against Charlotte. I am so sick and tired of this. I'm mad. I'm still mad. I'm going to be mad for a while.
Well, actually, just a correction. She did not say who she's facing yet, because they're having that Elimination Chamber women's match at the pay-per-view.
But they said that they already vouched for it, though, because of that. I don't know. I could have sworn I heard them.
Well, we've heard ad nauseum with Michael Cole spitting into the freaking microphone is Asuka may want to think twice about making the decision, because at Elimination Chamber, Alexa Bliss has to defend her belt, so it could be a new champion. So they're basically just spilling it out for us that Asuka's not going to decide until after Elimination Chamber.
Yeah. That's exactly it. And that's a very good impersonation, by the way. Yes.
Oh, yeah. You can also I impersonate people that I don't like. So, yeah.
But the level of disrespect where it's like, you don't even matter right now. We're going to finish you up during Elimination Chamber match, which we're all pretty much sure nobody's going to sit around and watch that pay-per-view. That's not going to get big numbers compared to Royal Rumble. So, yeah, I'm disrespectful. I am so angry.
So I agree. I agree with everything you said about the level of disrespect. But I will say, at the very least, now we know what Ronda Rousey's finisher is. You know, it'll be the point and shake. The point and shake. You know, and I know when Adam saw that, he was thinking maybe she's channeling her Sabu.
Sabu, it just needs to go a little higher, and that's who she should come down with. They're like, oh, we need a tag partner. Put in Sabu. Everybody will go nuts. It'll be awesome.
Yeah, I agree. But I don't know. Okay, so Ricky, did you have any thoughts on the Women's Rumble? Or you
No, I got some thoughts. So let me go back here and look at it for a second. Sasha Banks. I mean, okay, good on her to kind of like be the Iron Woman of the match, but she took and you guys stole the joke. She took more rest breaks than Roman Reigns did. Damn, it seems like every couple of minutes she was out there having a siesta. I did like her going heel during the match, and it seems like we're really like kind of teasing that with her, like going full heel. I'm totally here for that. Michelle McCool, I just have to talk about what a damn beast she was. You know, going in there and like she was only in there for 8 minutes, but she eliminated 4 people, including like almost murdering Molly Holly. And that one elimination, like I felt bad for her because that was like a sick thud out of the ring. But it was cool to see some of these old school women's wrestlers, you know, get some shine in there. Lita, you know, thank goodness you did not break your neck on that backflip off the top. You know,
that wasn't even a backflip. It's like she just fell backwards. You gotta get some oomph. I hope she's not training that in the performance center, because that's the wrong way to do it.
Yeah, good Lord, I almost had a heart attack. But she made it through there, and bless her. But Vicky Guerrero, was kind of nice to see her for like about 2 seconds before she just kept going on and on and on, screaming. And I was ready to just mute the television until she was eliminated. Then what else? Ember Moon, that was very cool to see her in there. I like that she was still selling the injury from the night before. That was a great move on their part. Let's see. Beth Phoenix, it did my heart good to see her in there. She looks like she can still go. Part of me wishes that she would come back, but it is what it is. The Bellas, they look to be in good shape as well. Of course, like Brie, don't trust Nikki. How many times you have to fall for that, and that's what happened. And of course, like having Nikki being the one at the end, it was like, oh no, don't have her win it. Do not have her win it. Like it seems like they always have this like in the Rumble where the last two you get like the indie favorite or like Smark favorite and all that stuff, and then you have WWE's kind of hand molded star. Which one of these two is going to prevail? And like you get that with Roman Reigns, with Nakamura, and then you had this with Nikki Bella and Asuka. I thought it was cool that Asuka won. I love Asuka; she's excellent, and also cool that they have both of them being Japanese wrestlers, being first-time Rumble winners and everything, and could be looking too deep into it, but I wonder how much of it is kind of like a response to like New Japan and what they're doing, but try to recapture some of that audience, but maybe not. I'm sure like WWE is still like has always been super popular in Japan. With Ronda Rousey coming out, which is what everyone's talking about, that's what they wanted. I had predicted that Ronda was going to enter the Rumble probably at number 30 and win it. That probably would have been better than what had happened on Sunday. I do think that having her come out like that really stole the spotlight from Asuka's big moment there. That's exactly what they wanted. Because you saw the next day, look at all these newspaper clippings of other, mainstream media's talking about us. That's what Vince McMahon wants. That's why I knew Ronda Rousey was going to be involved one way or another. That was what they're going for there. And yeah, it took away from Asuka's moment, but Vince doesn't care. It's all about the money. You know what I mean? And he feels that Ronda's going to bring more of the money than Asuka is. That's just facts. So
yeah, she definitely will bring the attention. I mean, she's already bringing the attention. So
and I mean, when you think about it, if the Rumble's not the right time to bring Ronda Rousey in, then when is? Because right now they're still holding in suspense of which brand is it, Raw, SmackDown, which champion is Asuka going to face, and doing this can delay that decision a little bit. Whereas if you put Ronda Rousey in to debut during a Raw, then it's like, okay, she's facing the Raw champion then, I guess. Or if she comes to SmackDown, she's facing the SmackDown champion. Now we don't know. Now we got to tune in and find out, and so I could kind of get why they did it, but,
And she said she's full-time. She's not part-timing like Brock, so they don't have to rush any of this.
Yep.
I still wonder what they mean by full time, because I'm not convinced that she's going to be wrestling on a weekly basis.
That's what she said. She said this is her life. She said this is her life now.
She said this is her life now for the next 2 years.
Yeah.
She will be wrestling full time.
How much? I mean, like, but here's the thing: like, has she actually been training?
Yeah.
This ahead of time.
What's her name? Kendrick has been training her.
Oh, Brian Kendrick. Okay.
Yeah. Cool. Before he got hurt, I'm sure somebody else is doing it, but yeah, Kendrick's been training her.
Well, remember, Brian Kendrick also trained Eva Marie, and we saw how that turned out.
Well, the thing is that she was a beauty queen coming in. She didn't have actual talent. You know, Ronda knows how to wrestle, knows submissions. She could work it.
Yeah, no.
You can't give someone talent.
Yeah.
So,
but you can pretend to when you have Roman Reigns. You know, you just kind of present it that way. No, like the best thing about Eva Marie was her entrance being as absurd as it was. That was like the only thing that was appealing. You know, apart from her looks, maybe she was kind of hot, but hey. Getting back on topic here, Ronda Rousey. I want to give her a shot as far as, like, you know, because she does have the fighting background and all that. So she's definitely got to work on cutting a promo. You know, I'm a little skeptic on that, but we'll see where that goes. But yeah, you know, it should be interesting.
Absolutely. Oh, well. So, Adam, did you have any final thoughts on the Women's Rumble, or are you good?
Yeah, I mean, it was disrespectful what she did, but it's not her fault. It's just, you know, what the plans were for her to come out, and they knew it. You know, if anything, maybe she's going to be a heel. You know, if they put her with Paulie, she's definitely going to be a heel. So it should be good. You know, I think they should make a new belt. I think they should have a women's universal champion also. And the reason why I say that is because, like I said, with the main universal champion, if you are the universal champion, that means you are the champion of the universe. That means you should be on Raw, SmackDown, NXT, 205. You should show up on all the damn shows. You're the champions of champions. And she should get that type of belt. And then that way, they can have her rotate around. You know, someone challenges her on Raw, she goes there. Someone challenges her in NXT or SmackDown. This will bring bumps to ratings all over the place. This whole, if you're the Universal Champ, go everywhere. Brock should be everywhere. You know, I don't get the naming if it doesn't really live up to what it's named to. You know, so I don't get it. He's not the Raw champion. He's a universe, right? WWE Universal Champion. Go everywhere. Don't go to baseball route with a World Series and only American teams compete. Don't do that shit.
Yeah.
Well, I've said it all along. The Universal Championship is a fraud. There's only one real championship belt. That's a WWE Championship. The McDonald's belt that Brock Lesnar is holding.
Yeah. I agree. We'll see what happens. Okay, a few other quick topics to get into before we get ready to wrap up the show. All right, Monday Night Raw, the Raw after Royal Rumble. Was there anything that you guys liked or disliked from that particular show? And just to give a refresher, of course, we had the whole situation with Braun Strowman and Kane, and as Michael Cole described, Braun Strowman picking up the entire stage and putting it on top of Kane, which, you know, we all know was BS. We had the Elimination Chamber qualifying matches. We had Finn Balor versus John Cena. We'd already know how that ended up. And of course, we had just a couple of matches here and there. But was there anything that y'all liked or disliked from this show? And how about you go first, Adam?
I thought the reason why they did that whole stage thing was because they're squashing it and they're now going to have them ringside again. I thought that's what I saw from, because I'm like, why do this? Just to destroy Kane? Come on now. There's other ways to do it. You know, why displace the whole announce team? And that's what I was like, oh, okay, well, this is what they're going to do. And with the coach being back, you know, and people are like, oh, he's replacing Booker T. But he's a play-by-play guy. So if anything, he should be replacing Michael Cole. So Michael Cole, who's openly said he wants a reduced schedule. So maybe that's what's going to happen. Eventually he's going to replace him, and there goes that. But that's the only thing I really took away from Raw when I watched it. I'm like, oh, they're announcing, they're just moving them back. That's what I think. I don't know.
That's a good point. I didn't think about that. Yeah, very good point. Okay, Ricky, was there anything that you liked or disliked from Monday Night Raw?
Yeah, you're gonna have to excuse me here because I have a couple things I need to say about this Raw, man. Like, first and foremost, with Coach being back and Michael Cole just disrespecting him when Coach was talking about he was mentioning the Super Bowl while trying to make some kind of analogy during the Asuka Sasha Banks match, and this could have been from Cole or it could have been from Vince yelling into Cole's ear, but Cole totally interrupted Coach, and he was like, what I want to talk about is this match, like instead of answering the damn question. It was.
But they always do that whenever any kind of NFL reference comes up. Booker T got in trouble for it not too long ago. It was a match, and he was trying to compare it to like an Eagles match or something. And says, "But this is not that. This is the WWE." And this. He hates, especially now with the whole XFL thing. They out of sight, out of mind. And remember, NFL's always been the competition, especially for Monday, because of Monday Night Football.
Yeah.
So they don't want to plant that seed. Someone like watching and like, yeah, watch. Oh shit! And oh shit, that's right. There's a game on. Hold on. Beep 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 beep. So
yeah. Vince wants his product to be the center of the universe, and the only thing that matters.
That's it. I get that.
I remember him saying like his favorite thing about the Olympics is that it ends, and then people can go back to focusing on his freaking shows or whatever. But going back to Raw. Speaking of that women's match, it was very brutal. I loved it. Scared to death for Sasha with that botch out in the ring, that spot there. But that was hard to watch. But
and that's the thing, though. They said she was okay, but it did not look. I mean, she kept going. It just didn't look right. It just did not.
That could have been an easy concussion there. So that was one of those things to really like. Watch out for there. Intercontinental match. I skipped it, but I saw that Miz retained, which was cool. Cena, Balor. What can I say? Cena still got that golden shovel, man. It's a shame because I loved when Finn Balor made his main roster debut, and they gave him they strapped the rocket to his back and gave him the Universal title right away and all that stuff, and he looked super, super strong and everything. I like that because I really, fan of Finn Balor and everything. But now they're just mid-card. He feels like mid-card there on Raw. He would be so much better on SmackDown, I would think, but hey, what are they going to do? What else happened on Raw? Nothing else that I there was a lot of it that I missed, quite honestly, but I did catch some of those matches. The women's match really stood out to me, though. I always knew that, like not Bayley, Sasha Banks can wrestle kind of a stiff style. Women's matches, like she was pretty brutal against Bayley when they had the feud in NXT. Asuka's always tough, so that was a matchup that I was looking forward to. I didn't think that they would give it to us on free television. I thought that'd be more of a pay-per-view thing, but when you have a show every week, you could run out of ideas, so throw it out there.
Exactly. Yep. All right, Dana. You have any thoughts on Monday Night Raw? Anything stood out to you?
Oh, we're getting a women's elimination chamber match, which I feel nothing for. Yeah, that and Sasha living was great. I appreciate that. The whole Kane, Braun Strowman situation again. I don't understand. My thing is, are they trying to make it look like Kane is going to retire because he's dead, so then he can go off in like the political part and be the mayor, or do his little debate things? Because I'm really confused as to why they keep having these matches and why it's so unnecessarily dramatic. So I was confused about that. Nothing really. That was I'm trying to find out. Let's see. They keep having the whole Titus. I don't know why Titus Worldwide keeps wrestling. I just don't like them. So that was boring.
I thought he was a manager. I thought he was switching over to a manager role. I'm surprised to see him in matches. I don't
know what they want to do with him. They don't see. I think once Bobby Lashley comes in, he'll just probably be a manager because they don't seem to know what they're doing with Titus. I really like the Sasha Banks Asuka situation. That was very nice. I liked, that match was, as you guys said, was brutal. Let's see. Cena winning the Elimination Chamber match. I don't understand why. So now we're gonna have Cena, Strowman, and Elias, which I'm not really interested in seeing that. I'm sorry. It's just John Cena and Finn Balor again, same darn match. So that was kind of boring. Yeah, that was all I can think of. And they kept announcing Ronda, but Ronda never showed, which was nice that she didn't show. She just probably would have pointed at things again. So overall,
man, you're hating on her hard. Why?
I am not hating on Mo.
She likes you. She said she likes you.
Dana's bringing the shovel tonight. My goodness.
No, I'm not hating on Ronda. I'm not. She is the first woman MMA fighter I've ever seen. I did not know women were in the MMA. I didn't know that they can.
You didn't see Gina?
See, here's the thing. I didn't really pay attention to female MMA matches. I just always watched the men. So to see her, she was like, oh my God, she was amazing to me. And I don't have any ill will or dislike towards Ronda. I love Ronda. I just don't understand what they're going to do with her. So right now, I'm just really cautious. And I don't know if they're just trying. To me, she's just money. She's just someone they brought in for money. This is like, oh, this is my new stage now because I'm too much of a chicken to go back into MMA to get kicked.
No, that's me. No, remember she's a big fan of the sport. Everyone knows that.
I know she has that love, and that's why her name was Ronda Rousey after Piper, and I do understand that, and that's really great. But right now, I don't know what she can do, and if she proves me wrong, I want her to prove me wrong.
You know, think about it. All right, think about this. Think of all the people that have come from MMA that have jumped into wrestling. It's worked out for all of them. Ken Shamrock, Dan the Beast Severn, but he was a wrestler first and went to MMA, but still he did both. It worked. Brock Lesnar did both. I mean, man, there's a few more guys, and I think even Tank Abbott tried for a little bit. It's just they have that athleticism. They know how to grapple. They know how to throw the punch and the kick. Now, the key is throwing it without actually smashing someone's face. If you could figure that part out, you should be good. She could be fine, especially if she has a mouthpiece. But I know you've never watched it, but she was on it's not called Tough Enough, Ultimate Fighter. She was a coach from Ultimate Fighter.
That's how I found out about her, by watching the Ultimate Fighter and watching her with that other woman who she beat.
Yeah. But that's the thing. She can talk. When she gets on a rant, she can shoot a promo. And she plays a very good heel. She knows how to sell a fight, and that was her role. She sells a fight. She's a heel. And as she gets more comfortable doing that in the WWE, it's going to flow. And I think she's going to be one of the best we've ever seen. That's it. I think this is it because she has the passion. She wants to be here. She already has the moveset. She knows how to do things. She just has to know how to do them, in the ring and taking bumps that way. But I see this as being a hit, Hall of Famer all the way. This is it.
Really?
Yeah,
really? Are you sarcastic? I can't tell.
No, I don't know. I don't know why. I don't know why how do you not see that? I mean, she's a total package. She brings up you got to look up promo interviews and stuff with her, and she can shoot. She can shoot, and it's gonna be great. She's gonna tear these girls up. She sort of has like that. Oh man, it's like when everybody knows one person that can just look at someone and just start dissing on them quick. She's quick with the comebacks, and she's really good with that. And as she gets more comfortable in WWE and working people, I'm gonna see her dropping things just like the way The Rock would, hey, pour yourself a nice tall glass of shut up juice and stuff like that. I could see it coming from her. It's gonna work. It's gonna work.
It's gonna open the gateways to just a whole bunch of MMA. People coming into the WWE, and it's
And
just going
that's
to be
fine.
this
That's fine.
that-
Think about
that's
it. Don't you want this? Aren't you tired of all the, you even said it, all the prissy girls they used to bring in that didn't know how to do anything, they couldn't take a stiff shot. These girls are used to stiff shots. She is going to bring strong style to whoever wants it. You know that.
yeah.
This is
But
gonna
here's the thing: WWE will water her down.
I don't think so. I think they want to
Really?
build her up like the female Brock. If they're
Okay.
putting her with Paulie, this is it. And you know what? It's believable. She was 6-0 in the UFC. Yeah, she lost 2 fights, but she won 6. You know, and so she was a badass. Did she start getting knocked up? Yeah, well, you know what? Everybody falls down. Muhammad Ali fell a bunch. He's still the champ.
True.
You know what I mean? It's just the way it is. She was still the main champ. She still held that belt. And when she would tell people in her promos, I think I'm going to catch you in an armbar. Yeah, okay, whatever. And she fucking won 6 straight matches via armbar. Even telling them, I'm going to beat you via armbar. And she still won that way. You know what I mean? It's like, you can't do that. No one calls matches like that. No one says, you know what? I'm going to knock you out there unless you're Tyson. No one else did that. She did. You know, and I don't know. She even said, she said Dana White's going to be at her first match. WWE. He vowed never to go to a WWE event, but he's going to go for her. You know, and if that's the case, and if they could work out something on good terms, we're going to see a 24/7 or one of those specials that they do on the WWE network just to reintroduce all the things that she's accomplished. She's a Hall of Famer in MMA in general. That's it. She is instant. So if she could do that in WWE, total package. It's a win-win for everybody.
Well, they already put up a special on online on WWE about how her road to WrestleMania and, you know, her coming into the Royal Rumble and that whole Triple H thing. So I don't, yeah. So I hope I'm wrong. I really do. I don't hate Ronda. I really don't. I'm just nervous.
Now, if it's Cyborg, who's she picking a fight with? Was it Sasha Banks or somebody?
Yeah.
Cyborg. She was picking, or Becky. She was picking a fight with Becky. She was doing a whole thing. Oh, I see you at Survivor Series or something, like all craziness. Like, no, now these people are just trying to jump in and make some money. They don't care about the sport. They're not fans. Ronda was showing up at events before they even started announcing that she was showing up at events. You know, after a while, they were like, all right, we're going to put you front and center. You know, you're a fan. You know, the 4 horsewomen, that's just because she's a wrestling fan. You know, that's just the way it is. They didn't give it to her. That's what they called it. So she wants to be here. So you got to give her the benefit of the doubt for that. All
right. I give her the benefit of the doubt. But she could have did more than just pointing and shaking.
I'm sure, but you know that's not what they had plans for. You saw that interview afterwards where she's like getting all emotional about it. She knew nothing. She filmed a movie or filmed scenes of a movie. They flew her down to like 3 different locations, and then they brought her over. They sent her husband back home, you know, so she was alone doing all this stuff. And she got there. She's like, "What am I doing?" They said, "You're gonna go out there. You're gonna point. You're gonna try to shake hands, and that's it." It's like, okay. She just like that. There was no real planning. She didn't know. So. It'll be all right. It'll be all right.
It'll be all right.
What they should have said is they should have made that announcement about her jacket. You know, that, hey, this is Piper's jacket, because it would look so big on her. And I'm sure a lot of people didn't get it, you know, and didn't understand that. It's like, what, maybe she's cold and she put on the jacket. You know, what's with this thing? Because it's especially when she was extending her hand out, because, you know, it's covering up almost, you know, it's like. So they should have really played it off, you know, and say, "Oh man, is that Piper's jacket? Is she wearing Piper?" You know what I mean? They could have did that, but whatever. But you know, it is what it is. She's gonna be your favorite wrestler by next year. I bet. That's it.
I don't know about all that.
Posters. She's gonna be the wallpaper on your phone.
I don't know about all that.
You're gonna have a T-shirt.
Oh gosh,
it's gonna be in Piper font. Watch, it's gonna be in Piper font. Mm-hmm.
I doubt that, but we have like 2 months to see what'll all go down.
Yeah, we'll see. So let me just say something real quick about Raw. Then we got 2 final topics to get into. Yeah, Monday Night Raw for me. I do want to give them credit that at least they had some better matches booked for this show. They normally do have on Raw. You know, we did get the Finn Balor John Cena match. I know that John Cena had this whole thing where he has a reaction to the crowd now, and I guess that this is part of a larger storyline, because it will play out once he loses at Elimination Chamber, I believe. But I just want to say this right now, as a Finn Balor fan, man, I don't really know how anybody can really have hope for Finn Balor after this. I mean, the night before at Royal Rumble, he gets eliminated by John Cena, then has a match the following night and loses. So this lets me know, like as Ricky already said, Finn Balor is definitely going to the mid card. He's going to stay there. Maybe he'll have an Intercontinental title match at WrestleMania with The Miz, perhaps. I mean, I don't know, but it's just ridiculous that they always say this guy. Yes, he was the first Universal Champion, but that was only for one night, and now that's it. It's he won't be getting an opportunity to go against Brock Lesnar, and we already know how that would look because we saw how Brock Lesnar destroyed AJ Styles in that match. So it's unfortunate, but I look forward to whenever they decide to send Finn Balor to SmackDown to give him a fresh start, so to speak. And that will maybe happen after WrestleMania. And once that does happen, I do expect them to move AJ Styles back to Raw because, they're not going to just send Finn Balor over there and then not take something major in return.
But you saw they did the whole thing with the club, and he got blessed by D-Generation X. I mean,
I saw that.
They have plans, but I think it's a different plan. I don't think it's as a singles. I think it's going to be with the club, and they're going to do that whole thing. They're going to just start attacking and interfering and doing all that. I think they're going to become a heel team.
That's a possibility. But I also think in regards to Finn Balor as a singles competitor, I think that Vince McMahon has been made very clear. They had that whole thing out earlier in the year where they said Finn Balor isn't over. I think that with Finn Balor, Vince McMahon is not really excited about the character anymore. He likes the demon gimmick, but he doesn't like the character. And I think that Triple H is the one that is behind Finn Balor. So I think it's a power struggle from a creative standpoint with that particular wrestler right now.
But we knew that. I mean, the guy's small. He's not, a massive 6'4". He's not Braun. You know what I mean? And Vince likes the big dudes. And he's not big. And that's the problem, and it's always going to be the problem.
Yeah. No, you're right. You're right.
It's
Absolutely.
sad. It's sad, but that's just the way it is until even with the XFL, he said, "Oh well, I'm not really gonna get involved in that BS." We wish he would, because then, like you said, he'd tell his kids to run the show, but the wrestling, but they're not, and he's not. He's gonna be involved in everything. It's his product, so it sucks.
Yeah. Well, so we'll see what happens. But as for the qualifying matches, we do know Elias, he beat Matt Hardy. I don't really know what they're doing with this Matt Hardy Woken thing because he lost to Bray Wyatt when they had their match at Raw 25. So I guess I don't know what they're doing with that, and Bray Wyatt clearly.
That's what they're leading to.
So that's going to be a WrestleMania match, or is that going to be a pre-show WrestleMania match?
No, that's going to be something. They're going to do something special for that. But all of this, think about it. Yeah, he's losing matches, but it's always the interfering in each other's matches.
Yeah.
Even though he did this, and what happened? Bray Wyatt came back out. So that feud's not dead, and it's just starting up. And I have a feeling it's all leading to a final deletion, and they just have to figure out how they're going to do it because. When he used to do it, he did it at his house. I don't think they're going to go back to the house and do that. And then when Bray tried to do it, he had that creepy house. Remember with Randy Orton?
Oh, yeah, that was terrible.
Stuff. Yeah, that was terrible. So they have to figure out just the planning. But if anybody can pull it off, it's Matt. He's done so many of them. So I think that's where it's leading up. But where do you put that? That's the thing. We don't know when this is going to happen. I don't know if it's going to be at the next pay-per-view or if maybe it will be at Mania. But it's not on scene, it's got to be somewhere where people are going to be cool looking at the monitor, the Titantron, for whatever 20-30 minutes, depending on how long it is.
Yeah. Well, we'll see. But like I said, Raw not really too memorable, but I will give them credit and say at least they had at least a few matches that were that I was interested to see, so that's fine. But let's move on real quick. I'm gonna ask you guys: was there anything that you liked or disliked about SmackDown the following night? And a few highlights I will mention. We had the whole teasing of the cash-in from Carmella that didn't happen, which I thought was very interesting. And of course, we found out that now next week Rusev is facing Bobby Roode for the U.S. title. And oh yeah, and of course the whole thing with AJ Styles and Shinsuke teaming up to face Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn. But did you guys have anything that you liked or disliked about that show? Adam, you go first.
Yeah, there's no.
You said no.
No, I just nothing. None of it. Just whatever. Wherever they're going with it, who knows? I don't. Not excited for it.
Okay, how about you, Dana?
I thought the whole Carmella incident was hilarious. Like I remember texting you, like, "Oh my gosh, she's gonna cash in," and then like they did that weird thing where they kicked the referee and the referee was down, and then Carmella was just like, "Oh, never mind." I didn't understand the purpose of that. I was so confused.
She's had it over a year. I thought the whole agreement was you could only have it for a year.
Yeah, that's what I thought too. But
so
well, hold on a second. Are you sure? Are you sure it's a year? I thought she wanted that Money in the Bank, and that was in June. That was in June, right? So she has until WrestleMania, right? Or after to cash in? Well, go ahead, Ricky.
You have it on from the day you won it until that day a year later.
Okay. Yep.
So I think she really has until the next Money in the Bank to cash it in. So she can go past this WrestleMania not cashing it in and still have it. Cash it in afterwards.
Interesting. Okay.
Yeah. So that was confusing. I just didn't understand the purpose of that at all. The Usos again with their rap battle. That was cute. The Bludgeon. I can't. Why are they called the Bludgeon Brothers?
It's dumb. I don't.
What the heck?
Just drop
and they don't even bludgeon anyone. They're just there, looking like one of those.
It upsets me that they come down to the ring with these things and they just take it off and drop everything right up the ramp and then they run in. It's like, you don't even use the weapon. That should be part of your finisher then. Whip it out and hit somebody. I don't know. Do something. It's stupid. It's stupid. All of it was dumb. That's whatever.
Yeah, it was like some weird jobber thing. I didn't like that. Yeah, I just didn't like it at all. I don't understand what they're trying to do. Then they had Charlotte Flair and the Riot Squad, which, is it just me or does Mandy Riot and that other girl look just like the other ones from Raw? Paige, Alexa Bliss, and somebody else. Like they all look alike to me. So it was just really hard. They do.
Well, I think that whole team thing, the 3-on-3 thing, that shows you that they have the people writing for both shows. Because that whole thing with Paige introduced her team, and then the following night, now there's this other team on SmackDown too. So yeah, I think that's what that is.
Yeah, I didn't like that. I mean, and it would have been really nice to see Carmella actually cash in, even if she lost. Even if they did the whole Baron Corbin thing, to me, it would have just been so great if she lost. But they didn't do that because this is the writers and they suck. Yeah, that was bad. And it was pointless. You had Baron Corbin and Ty Dillinger. Well, we finally remember who Ty is. Again, as you said, they didn't acknowledge his existence and he still lost. So, yeah, that was a boring match as well. Then I cannot stand the Breezango skit thing. Maybe because I'm not a 3-year-old, but it's just so stupid. And they're not doing anything with the Ascension. Do they even wrestle anymore? And I'm being really serious when I ask that.
I think they do wrestle. They wrestle on main event. Just like what's his name? Mike Kanellis. They do a lot of the main event stuff and other house show stuff, but yeah, they're not on main TV.
No, and it's really unfortunate because the whole Mike Kanellis and the Maria Kanellis thing would have been really great with the whole Miz and Maurice, but we know they both ended up getting pregnant, so that didn't work out. But that would have been much better for them than whatever the heck WWE has them doing now with that whole. I don't understand who actually likes this. Like I don't get it. But yeah, that was bad. And then you had the AJ Styles and Shinsuke Nakamura teamed up with Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn. I am so sick and tired of seeing Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn again. It was just bad. So yeah, Styles and Nakamura won. Yay for them, but I really didn't care. And it wasn't even like that bad of a match. I just legit don't care about them anymore.
It's the same formula. They always do this. It was like, oh, you two guys are going to fight at the big show, but tonight, you're partners. You know, and they always do that. That's why I'm like, I'm watching this, and most of the time I was just fast forwarding. I'm like, all right, something else has to happen because, oh, wait, nothing else happens. All right.
Let me make a quick comment to you, Adam. This also reminds me of WWE 2K18 because when I did a storyline in the universe mode with two people that are in a rivalry, they put them in a tag match together, and of course that was when it's the same old business as usual. So,
and here's what aggravated me so much: if you have a match coming up where you're going to wrestle each other, and you're supposed to be like, you know, this huge feud, and you're going to build that up, why are you so buddy right now? On the next day that you announce you're going to face each other, you know, he should have been like, you know, I can't stand you, and the other one is I can't stand you either. Like, I just don't get it.
But this is different. That's the only aspect of all this. This is different. This is more of like a feud within the ring. It's not a personal vendetta. It's like I respect you, you respect me. It's like with Benoit and Eddie Guerrero. When they had their feud, it was like out of respect. Yeah, you're the champ, but I just got to do this, man. You know, or British Bulldog and Bret Hart when they had it's the same thing. They are feuding, they're gonna fight, but they both have that mutual respect and they both know that they're gonna bring it. It's gonna be good. So it's different. It's not like what we're used to seeing with a lot of like, oh, I have to hate you for some damn reason.
Yeah, I guess. And also, side note, I didn't know Ronda Rousey has the top selling merchandise on WWE Shop. So good for her. She's in third place.
Already before Woken Matt Hardy? Are you kidding me?
Yeah, I just Eric Morel in the chat pointed it out, and I looked over at. I didn't even know she had that oh my gosh, I can't say his name. That Rowdy shirt that she wore during the Royal Rumble, and it's expensive too. Like, it's unnecessary. I'm not paying $30 for a T-shirt, but apparently people are.
Well, all their T-shirts, and then they do these weird deals where they're like, "Oh yeah, we're putting it on sale." No, you're putting it at a T-shirt price. you just jack it up. It's trickery, friends. Trickery. They do this buy one get one free type shit. So we'll see.
And yeah, they do. And they still have Enzo products if anyone wants any $4 shirts. No, wait. I mean, they're selling. Wait, they have his socks was $20. They're now $10. His microphone ornament, which was $8, is now $1.49. Oh my god!
And you can't sell that.
Even like, remember when he won the TLC thing and they have like a framed plaque with the ring canvas? It was $70. It's now $35. It's so sad. And it's an extra 30% off just in case you wanted to get. But yeah.
That's crazy. That's crazy.
Woken.
Yeah, we'll see about that. So Ricky, you have any thoughts on SmackDown or you good?
Yeah, I got a couple, and the thing that stands out to me was like the main event. You know, this whole thing that they're doing where like they're like driving a wedge between Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn. It's like, where have I seen this angle before? Oh, right, with Kevin Owens and Chris Jericho, where best buds are now feuding with each other because you know, there's a belt at stake and everything. And I'm not totally sold that they're really going to just split these guys up after they just came back together so quickly. I think it's going to be another one of those things where it's like, oh yeah, you know, this is all just, you know, like they can't separate us and blah, blah, blah. And all that. So like, you know, you would think maybe, you have Owens and Zayn split up and face each other at Mania, but I'm not convinced that that's the direction they're going to go there. But yeah, like I say, so that they had that match, and then let me just take a quick look here. The cash-in attempt was funny, but like WWE has the weakest refs in the world that like you get pushed out the ring and then they're just like, oh, I'm in pain. You know, like the women get pushed out the ring and they get right back up. So I'm just saying the women are tougher than these refs. Rusev Day is so over. I don't know how I feel about him going against Bobby Roode because I like Bobby Roode as well. And it's like the whole Rusev Day is so over right now. Like it feels like they should make the guy babyface, but like now you're gonna have him go against Bobby Roode, and Bobby Roode's someone I feel like they're trying to build up as a babyface, but you're gonna get fans rooting against him in that match. It's counterintuitive, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah, it's gonna happen.
Yeah. So like unless they're planning a double switch, I don't see the point of it. What else? Yeah, that's really. Oh yeah. The Usos had a pretty decent promo. I don't care about Breezango. I'm sorry. I don't know why anyone does. Yeah, those are my thoughts.
All right. Last thing I'm gonna say before we go on to. I'm gonna give the mic to Dana to talk about this mixed match challenge. Real quick, I just want to say that Usos promo was good, but in my personal opinion, that was when they should have debuted Authors of Pain or whoever they're gonna call up, because they said we're the best tag team. But then, of course, then you see the Bludgeon Brothers come out there as the next feud, and I'm like, man, that was disappointing, because if you were going to call up a team, that right there was it. That was your moment right there, but they said nope. So disappointing. But yeah. Okay, Dana, you wanted to say something very briefly about the mixed match challenge match that we saw this past week. So go ahead.
Okay, one, people need to start watching this because the ratings are dropping and I don't think it's going to return again. So, all of you. You suck. Okay, so the match between Braun Strowman and Alexa Bliss and Sami Zayn and Becky Lynch, it was so adorable. So before they started wrestling, they had like this little promo thing where you seen like Braun Strowman is trying to teach Alexa Bliss how to flip cars. Too cute. Anyway, then of course Braun Strowman and Becky Lynch won. Not Becky Lynch, I'm sorry. Braun Strowman and Bliss won the match. But the whole time they had like this whole playful nature about him. So it was really great to see like Braun be this like, I'm going to kill you. And him fighting Kane and trying to kill Brock and everything else, to him being so really great and playful to Lynch, Becky Lynch also, and as well as Bliss. Before the match began, the crowd started chanting happy birthday, which was really cute. Basically it was just them playing on each other's size. So Braun is like real nice and trying to hold the ropes for Alexa Bliss, because she's like 2 feet tall and Braun is like 8 feet tall. So overall it was just a really fun match. And even though Becky Lynch and Sami Zayn lost, they had really great chemistry with each other. The match was very quick. They had great speed. They was able to read each other really well. And all 4 of them just went great. So you guys really need to watch it. Maybe just because it's on the Facebook thing that people are just not able to, they don't care, or they're not able to find it. But yeah, this is going to be the last tournament probably ever, because no one's watching it. So
yeah, no,
that's all.
It's all right. I don't need to see that.
You like it's all right.
I just want to say real quickly, I did watch it. I enjoyed it also. I enjoyed the fact that they had Bobby Roode and Charlotte in the chat as well, watching the match. But they had no interaction with the fans whatsoever. So I thought that was kind of lame. But still, it's a pretty interesting experience to just watch it on Facebook and then see the chat rolling up and down.
Yeah, so. And the next match is going to be between Jimmy Uso and Naomi against Goldust and Mandy Rose.
Yeah, Mandy Rose. That'll be an interesting match.
And also, these are like really, really short too, so you're not spending like hours or even an hour watching it. It was 10 minutes and 51 seconds, guys. Please.
I could be eating really oatmeal or something. I don't need to see this. No.
Bring back King of the Ring.
And Little Big Team. That was so cute. Really? Nothing? All right, fine.
Well, I'm with you, Dana. I thought it was good. So yeah.
Thank you.
I
have one person on the side.
Yeah, you and I will be the only ones watching it from this show.
Basically.
All right. So okay. So I believe that concludes most of the stuff that we had lined up for tonight. Is there anything else that you guys wanted to bring up before we wrap up the show?
Well, it's not wrestling related, but real quick, Floyd Mayweather is doing MMA match against Conor McGregor.
No, he's not. No, he's not.
He's teasing it.
No. It's McGregor brought that up. McGregor brought it up, saying that if he really wants to fight and it's gonna bother him, that he has to go into MMA. He has to fight him in his world to prove he's the. No, he's not doing it.
He's been doing little vignettes online.
Do it.
Of him practicing his little MMA moves. So never say never. No, I didn't think we were going to have a boxing match with Conor McGregor.
Oh, but that's easy. That's stand up. Come on now. The UFC has seen so many boxers come in and they all get destroyed. They get taken down. That's it. They get taken down and they're not used to it. So no, that'd be pointless. Nope.
Really?
Yeah. We've seen too many of these. He knows better.
Yeah, Floyd doesn't need any more money, so I will hope that he would say, "No, I'm not doing that." See, he already paid off the IRS, whatever. Yeah, that's it. That needs to be it. Just relax, retire.
Oh, that was good.
So what?
Baby steps. He's learning adulting, paying your bills.
Yeah. Well, so we'll see. We'll see about that. But I think that pretty much concludes our show for tonight. Definitely want to give a shout out to everybody in the chat that participated as well. But any final shout outs that you guys would like to give? How about you go first, Adam?
Shout out to everybody over at the Throwdown and everybody else on the Koalition and everybody that was watching and listening and everybody on this panel and just wrestling. Shout out to all the wrestlers out there. Shout out to Ronda. I know a lot of people like Dana don't like you, but there are people that do support her and she knows that. And I mean, that's it. Enjoy life. We got a lot of wrestling going on. Bullet Club's falling apart. This is awesome. It's good times. There we go.
Absolutely. All right, Ricky, how about you? Any shout outs that you would like to give?
Sure, yeah. Shout out to you guys, of course. It's always fun to do this. Shout out to all of our viewers. Whether you're new or you're a regular, we appreciate it. Appreciate all the interaction. Keep coming back. Tell your friends. Definitely keep checking us out. And also for you football fans, there's a big game on Sunday. I'm not sure you guys heard about it. I'd say just have fun. Let's just hope that your team, whatever it may be, will be the champs. Go Pats. That's all I have for now.
I like that. Sounds good. Okay, how about you, Dana? Any final shout-outs that you would like to give?
Yes, thank you, everyone in the chat. It has been very lively. Thank you for that. Thank you to all the listeners. Special shout-out to Shayna, the MMA fighter, now wrestler, for actually holding a conversation with me. So yay for her and being humble and amazing. And shout out to the Koalition and shout out to the Throwdown, who had me on one time in my entire life. So shout out to them and shout out to the Super Bowl. Whoever wins, we're all going to cry because This Is Us comes on right after the Super Bowl. So yay.
Yeah, and that's another thing is that this is the last, and definitely enjoy it because this is the last time you're going to get football this time of year until 2020 when the XFL comes out. Oh, that'll be exciting.
Don't worry, guys. It's going to be safer with technology we've never seen before. And there will be players who have clean records and will have good moral characters. So we're not getting any of that Katie Vick storyline type stuff anymore. So good for them.
Yeah, worry about concussions? We don't have that in the XFL.
No, concussions don't exist at all. What's a concussion? That's
timeouts? No timeouts. That's for pussies. This is the XFL. You know,
Exactly.
like it's gonna be a train wreck. I can't wait.
And screw your commercials too, because that doesn't exist in the FXL.
Absolutely. So yeah, want to give a shout out to all of you guys here on the panel. Always a fun show. Shout out to all the fans that were listening, whether if you're going to listening later or you've been listening. Thank you for the support. And we'll talk to you all next week.
Good night.